Spencer. 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 Damn, Spencer. Damn, Spencer, you look good. Damn, Spencer. Damn, Spencer. Damn, Spencer, you're bleeding all over my car. Damn, Spencer. Damn! Damn, Lewis. Now you're spoiling everything. Thought you promised to be nice and polite. Damn, you cannot cut hair without a license. Damn. Cover me. Damn. Damn. Damn, it works. Damn. Damn, ain't this your lucky day? Damn, no wonder you come to me. Damn. Damn, now you won't get my teeth grinded. Damn, I'm glad we brought your car. Damn, you finally gonna put that green monstrosity you've been driving out of his misery. Oh, damn, man. Damn, you're good. Damn, you're good. Damn, look at him go. Damn.
Who's he?
It's all right, Missy. I don't do nothing Mouser don't tell me to.
Did you know who you'd be throwing in the streets when you took this job?
Yeah. Spencer.
I just shot a couple of guys.
Nick Tanner and Jimmy Della Rio, you know 'em?
Intimately.
How much trouble am I in?
Where are you? Don't you know you need a license to practice medicine in Massachusetts? You and me are crowd all by ourselves, babe. Spencer. 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 Damn, Spencer. Damn, Spencer, you look good. Damn, Spencer. Damn, Spencer. Damn, Spencer, you're bleeding all over my car. Damn, Spencer. Damn! Damn, Lewis. Now you're spoiling everything. Thought you promised to be nice and polite. Damn, you cannot cut hair without a license. Damn. Cover me. Damn. Damn. Damn, it works. Damn. Damn, ain't this your lucky day? Damn, no wonder you come to me. Damn. Damn, now you won't get my teeth grinded. Damn, I'm glad we brought your car. Damn, you finally gonna put that green monstrosity you've been driving out of his misery. Oh, damn, man. Damn, you're good. Damn, you're good. Damn, look at him go. Damn.
Who's he?
It's all right, Missy. I don't do nothing Mouser don't tell me to.
Did you know who you'd be throwing in the streets when you took this job?
Yeah. Spencer.
I just shot a couple of guys.
Nick Tanner and Jimmy Della Rio, you know 'em?
Intimately.
How much trouble am I in?
Where are you? Don't you know you need a license to practice medicine in Massachusetts? You and me are crowd all by ourselves, babe.
Spencer.
Spencer. Spencer.
Spencer. Spencer.
Spencer.
Spencer.
Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer.
Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer.
Spencer.
Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer.
Spencer.
Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Damn, Spencer. Damn, Spencer, you look good. Damn, Spencer. Damn, Spencer. Damn, Spencer, you're bleeding all over my car. Damn, Spencer. Damn! A clock! Damn, Lewis. Now you're spoiling everything. Thought you promised to be nice and polite. Damn, you cannot cut hair without a license. Damn. Cover me. Damn. Damn. Damn, it works. Damn. Damn, ain't this your lucky day? Damn, no wonder you come to me. Damn. Damn, now you gonna get my teeth grinded. Damn, I'm glad we brought your car. Damn, you finally gonna put that green monstrosity you've been driving out of his misery. Oh, damn, man. Damn, you're good. Damn, you're good. Damn, look at him go. Damn.
Who's he?
It's all right, Missy. I don't do nothing Master don't tell me to.
Did you know who you'd be throwing in the streets when you took this job?
Yeah.
Spencer.
I just shot a couple of guys.
Nick Tanner and Jimmy Della Rio, you know 'em?
Intimately.
How much trouble am I in?
Where are you? Don't you know you need a license to practice medicine in Massachusetts? You and me are crowd all by ourselves, babe.
Spencer.
Spencer. Spencer.
Spencer. Spencer.
Spencer.
Spencer.
Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer.
Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer.
Spencer.
Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer.
Spencer.
Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Spencer. Damn, Spencer. Damn, Spencer, you look good.
That's right, and welcome to the Trek Time Trek Show. I am your host and only host today, Captain Idle. Everyone else, unfortunately, is busy this week, but welcome everyone to the Trek Time Trek Show. Apologies in advance. I am suffering from various illnesses and have, I've got my nice little happy little rabbit here to keep me company and give me some nice needed Lemsip medicine. So, if I have to stop, if I have to mute myself, I will be encouraging my mute button quite heavily to mute my coughs and sniffs and sneezes. So, apologise for that, but I am determined to still bring you a quality show full of, quality show of Star Trek content. Hello everybody. We are trying something new tonight, and I am streaming to both YouTube and Twitch tonight, and I've got the kind of combined chat over here, which is, sorry Namer isn't working with the Franca's stuff with the emotes, but we'll work on that. This is a test trial to see if this works, and also because we now have YouTube, we have YouTube integration as well, so whether you're watching on Twitch, whether you're watching on YouTube, I don't know, Twitch doesn't particularly like that, but well, whatever, we'll see. If they complain, we'll go to YouTube. We'll see that. But hello, yes, I have a lot of news and things to talk about this week. Lots of Star Trek stuff going on. We've got some videos to show off, some other things. But how is everyone in chat? How are you all, my wonderful our wonderful devoted watchers? And if you're watching on the VOD, hello, hope you're having a nice lunch break. That's all I'll say. Yes, so tonight we're going to be going over Roy Kirk. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much. We're going to be talking a little bit about Strange New World Season 2. A few spoilers, although you can't really spoil it because they're episodic. But, I'm missing something down here. There's a gap in my stream for some reason. Oh, never mind. We'll be talking about Strange New Worlds. We'll have a look at the trailer for next week as well. We'll be talking about Prodigy and the ongoing situation there is with that. We'll be talking about some new comic series and other things as well, about the writer strike a little bit as well. If I had more work and if we'd save Star Trek Prodigy. If you are on any kind of social network, please go and save Star Trek Prodigy, because it is an absolute crime. We'll talk about that very soon. Very, 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 very soon. First off, I'd like to get your thoughts on what do you think so far of Strange New World Season 2? You can see all of our thoughts on our reviews that we've been putting up over the last 3 weeks, and I've even been compiling little shorts, YouTube shorts, the little things you scroll through like TikToks but on YouTube, so that we just put our ratings, so you can just say, we gave this a 5, we gave this a 7, this is why Otto gave it a 2. I love the guy really, but gave on it midway through season 1. Wow. Well, you are a purist, Roy Kirk, we know that. You are a purist of the Roy Kirk generation. Excuse me, rabbit keeping me company. Yes, so no, I'd like to see what your thoughts are of season 2 so far, because it's been very mixed. I found the first episode to be okay. It was alright. Second episode, chef's kiss. Third episode, yeah, pretty good. But I know some people were like last episode were a bit more down, a little bit more milquetoast on it, perhaps due to a little bit more James T. Kirk on it, which Roy Kirk would be very interesting to see. You watch the latest episode to see what you think of Paul Wesley's James T. Kirk, because it's very interesting, and Stars surmised it very well on a video the other way. The beans on toast of the season so far, if you will. The best episode ever. Come on. Beans on toast is brilliant, right? We need to interject here. I only saw Star Trek Picard for the new Trek. Oh, interesting. You've not watched Strange New Worlds, The Chosen 2023. I'll just call you The Chosen. You should definitely give Strange New Worlds a watch. It's very, very good. Even if you're kind of one of those people that just wants to bash Discovery for no real reason, definitely watch Strange New Worlds. It's very, very, very good if you're a Star Trek fan and not Roy Kirk. Sorry, man. Don't mean to call you out too much on that one. Let me just lower my mic a bit. And clipping. There we go. So yeah, I thought tomorrow was a very good episode. I enjoyed it immensely, and I very much enjoyed Paul Wesley's portrayal of Kirk. I was quite happy with that, even though it was an alternate universe Kirk a little bit. It was interesting. It was very and like Star said, we have not seen this Kirk as defined by Spock yet. Their interaction together, because we know we're getting Lieutenant Kirk coming into the series later on. He will be arriving on the Enterprise, and there is something which I think is very cheeky and very clever, because the line in the menagerie is that Kirk says, I only met Pike once when he got promoted to fleet captain. Now, I have seen in the trailer, and I might go and find that trailer in a minute, we'll watch it. I have seen in a trailer somewhere that we see Pike with the fleet captain badge on. So is Pike getting promoted this season? That's the real interesting fact. So he gets promoted, Kirk meets him, and they've solved that little loop. They've tied off that little bow and gone, ha, we got round it. We can have Kirk and Pike on the Enterprise together. It is cheeky, but I kind of appreciate the little dig to go like, well, we want the artistic license, but we also want to conform to canon a bit. Because although they've kind of said, like, we'll ignore canon for a good story, they've done very good ways of still keeping things in canon. Like the Khan reveal last week was very good, very clever. I know Shai would disagree. I'm waiting to have that conversation with Shai at some point, which we will do. We'll have a tiering episode, or we'll have another end of season discussion, and we'll talk about that quite in depth. The only two hero ships in the new Trek that I like is the Enterprise G and the Discovery A. That's a good take, actually. Discovery A is... I prefer the original Discovery, definitely, to the A. I don't mind detaching nacelles. I've got nothing against them. I think it's a cool design for 32nd century. I just find the little neon lights and the angular curves on the deflector dish of the A not as good as maybe the original Discovery. Though the Discovery is a very... They're both very nice ships. The Enterprise G is really nice, actually. It grew on me. I didn't like it at first, but then seeing it in action definitely grew to it. I'd be interested in choosing to see what you think of the Enterprise F, because I quite like the F. I've got the model of it on my desk. I really like it. Speaking of Eaglemoss models, hang on, because I've always, every time I mention it, I've got to show it off. You can't buy this anymore. This is like worth £80. It's ridiculous for something so small. And why did I go grey there? Look, I went grey. I went 1950s on you. Look. Anyway, so Eaglemoss are, Eaglemoss is dead. We know that. I can't get it back on its stand now, sorry. Eaglemoss is dead. However, Master Replicas, and we've spoken about them before if you Google them, are still doing Friday drops. Excuse me a second. Are still doing their Friday drops to sell off lots of old stock. There has been mention that they have found quite a large shipment of Enterprise F figures, as well as other things. Let me just head on over to their Twitter, because for anyone interested in Star Trek replicas, these are about all we've got now, and a company that is dead, and they're selling old stock. But let's have a look. There have been some other stuff. The F is nice, STO, some nice ship designs, but no more beautiful than the TMP Enterprise refit. Oh, man of culture, Roy Kirk. A man of culture. Yes, the TMP Enterprise refit is really nice. Really, 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 really nice. Just bought the Romulan Warbird from them yesterday. Good choice, good choice. I've got a... What have I got? Did you get the classic Warbird, or did you get the Picard Warbird? Because I got the Picard Warbird when they were doing their... the big scale. It's on a shelf behind the green screen at the moment. I can't get it. But yeah, that's a nice model. Getting stuff from the TNG one. The Warbird. Sorry, I'm thinking in my head. I'm thinking Bird of Prey. Fake fan. Yes, actually, the D-Deridex. Yes, I've got that on a shelf up there somewhere. I walked past a second-hand shop on my nearby where I live, and bear in mind, I live in the literally bumfuck nowhere, and they had a shelf full of Eaglemoss, and I just went in and went, yeah, and they were selling for dirt cheap, £2-3, and this is before Eaglemoss shut down, and I went. And no major starships. It's mostly stuff like Romulan Warbirds, Gala-class starships, the Bajoran sail ship, which is quite rare as well. There was... I just went, can I have them all? And I think I paid about 60-70 quid for all of them, and now I could probably sell them on for 3 times that if I wanted to. I don't want to. I like them, but got an email about a flash drop in 20 minutes. Yeah, keep an eye on Master Replicas. They've got a Cerritos coming at the end of August. Last remaining stock on that. There's some more Orvilles if you're an Orville fan. The Rocinante from The Expanse is coming back out again, and lots of here we go. They've got 900 units of the Enterprise F towards the end of August. Excuse me a second, my throat is killing me. I'm going to be drinking a lot tonight because this is hard work. But we do this. So yeah, go on. I think the best place to check it all out is the Master Replicas Twitter. They post a lot on there, pretty much like 3 times a day. What about 3D prints? It's the thing you can get 3D models of your Star Trek Online ship and accessible on the PC version of Star Trek Online. That was Gameprint, wasn't it? I think they might still be going. I think they are. Quick, you know what? Google will tell me. Star Trek Online Gameprint. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's still going because that wasn't through Eaglemoss. Eaglemoss had its own line of Star Trek Online models, which were nothing to do. Yeah, Star Trek Integral Reality Labs are still doing, collectibles. So you can still do that. I don't think it's cheap, but then neither was Eaglemoss. Excuse me. Yeah. I know a few people that are doing like 3D printing as well. You can, if you a quick Google will find STL files of pretty much every Star Trek ship out there. So you can definitely find that out there. But yeah, there's all sorts of out. There's another. Yeah, July, there was the last 22. Oh, I see. Yeah, there was the Discovery A as well, and some other stuff as well. So yeah, go have a look at that. Still hoping that they will release. Someone will pick up the license and start releasing models, hopefully cheaper, because Eaglemoss were very expensive. I think like the Cerritos was about 50-60 quid, or like $70-80, I think that is. This Gameprint would be ideal for Titan A. I think Gameprint were I don't know what Gameprint were doing. I think they might have a license only for Star Trek Online's original ships or stuff you can kit bash, but I don't think you can get those ships. I'm not sure. You can check. I didn't remind their name because it's been a long time since anyone talked about it. Yeah, I think they still do that. Yeah, Eaglemoss's 75 model, XL models are about £75. Yeah, they're just too much. They are too much, and I don't think that's $75 quality. Probably about half that. They're okay. They're nice to look at, but yeah, for a bit of plastic, that's that stinginess in me that just kind of goes like. But then again, I'm now covered in Eaglemoss, so what do I know? Yeah, let's pivot back. Strange New Worlds season 2. Let me know your thoughts. We've still got another bit of season to go. We're only up to episode 3. I think there are 10 episodes in the season. The next one is called Among the Lotus Eaters, and let's have a wee look. Let's have a, we're going to do something clever here. No, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's go. I say clever. It's literally just changing layouts. Well, let's watch the promo trailer for next week, Among the Lotus Eaters.
Hold on to your saddles. It's going to get a little choppy.
Scans can't penetrate Rigel 7's atmosphere.
This is an undercover recon operation. Enterprise needs to clean up its own mess.
This isn't a normal planet. The radiation affects your brain.
Who are you?
I don't know.
That doesn't sound good.
Time loss, fear, and then you forget.
Help! We need help!
So this is I think this is the Ortegas episode we're getting. But we're getting a combination of the Ortegas and Pike episode. Oh, hang on. Email just come through. Flash drop tonight. Oh, interesting. I wonder what they're dropping. So yeah, this looks like it's going to be the Ortegas episode. Let me just flick through this as we're doing it. So we've definitely got the shuttle point we saw in the initial trailers. They're going down to Rigel 7, or was it Rigel 4? Excuse me if I cannot remember which one. Which was, if people don't know, the planet that causes Pike a bit of trauma before the incident at the cage. The cage occurred before Strange New World, so this is going to be revisiting the past. And there was another clip out there as well, which I won't play because it's directly from the episode, and it's, for people that don't want to avoid all that kind of stuff. But it is... there's reference to the Kalar, the big creature that Pike fights in the Illusion, the one with the gurny teeth and the shield, and he goes, I'm going to get you. He's definitely he was the Kalar, so they're going to redo over that. It's going to be interesting lore-wise and get a bit more of Pike's past. We've got a briefing by Una. We got right. Excuse me, one second. Just dying here. We've got Pike going back to Rigel 7, and there's definitely a little I came because of the Discord comment, no it's that, god damn it. Yes, it's originally posted with the wrong name. Yeah, I'm getting a kind of a little hybrid view of these guys from Rigel 7, almost like the Kalar almost, yeah, little sort of like Oriental, little Genghis Khan-ish atmosphere to it. If that was my sorry, white man's eye there. Apologies to anyone if I have offended. We've definitely got Pike and La'an going down, because La'an is also the main character in this. I think we're also going to be dealing with Uhura's vision. We saw in the trailer where she saw that she was seeing a shuttle, possibly of her parents' tragic accident that she alluded to in season 1. And definitely, I think there's something going to happen on the ship. There's something going to happen on the planet. There's something going to happen on the ship. I think we're going to have an A and a B plot, and they're all sort of interconnected. Right, there we go. I'm going to run out of drink in a minute. We've got we've got Spock on the bridge, lots of Uhura. I think we'd have a full rounded cast episode, which is going to be interesting to see how much time they spend on that. Sorry, again. Definitely dying tonight, definitely dying. But we'll get through it, And from what I can see, it's going to be that Spinny Ortegas moment where you get the Enterprise going. So there's the episode. You don't need to watch it now. I've just explained the entire episode. Way. I think it's going to be lots of surprises here. And it's going to be interesting to see some of Pike's backstory, some of Pike's history with the Kalar and what Rigel 7... Because, you know, he gets to the start of the cage and he's pretty depressed. He's pretty pissed off. He wants to quit Starfleet, essentially, and become a trader somewhere else. And it's not the effects of the Telosians that snap him back out of it. Hey-ho, right. We will be reviewing that, and that should hopefully our review, if we get it done on time, will be out on Monday. So keep an eye out for that. We'll also have a watch along as well if you want to watch along with us. So that'll be out on Monday. I need to change tracks. I think it's time to have a beer because my eucalyptus tea is not working, and it's time to get some colour in my life. Oh my god, that is washed out. One of these, because this is going well. Let's talk about Prodigy. Hands up anyone that watched tea isn't working, time for beer. Essentially, yes, that's what it's like. Hands up anyone in chat that watched Prodigy or liked Prodigy or didn't watch Prodigy and didn't want to watch Prodigy. Let me know what your thoughts are on that, because I have a little bit of discussion about the community impact on that. They still have the Universe class on Gameprint. Interesting. That is interesting. Oh yeah, that's going down nicer. That's already soothing the little tickle at the bottom of the throat there. I need some like lemon and honey and whiskey. Just give me 1 second. Dear oh dear. I think if this carries on for another 10-15 minutes, I may have to stop. But we'll carry on. We'll see how far we get. Yeah, I'm still dying. It's pretty bad. Part of me is just like, what are you doing, man? Just get it over. Just stop. Here we go. So, Kyra, I love Prodigy. In my opinion, the best new series to use an intro to Trek for new people. 100% correct. 100% correct. Watched it with my son, definitely. Sorry, checking it. Great to catch him on the live stream. Catching all a huge fan from the beginning here in the Western Australia, Perth. Dean Dixon, thank you very much. For the person in chat that asked as well, when's Timelines Talks coming back? Will we come back June the 26th? No, not June 26th, July the 26th. We're bringing Timelines Talks back because apparently I can't stay away. 15% off using the code. Thank you very much, Chris Cobb. 50% off July using the code. Thank you. No, that's excellent. Sorry. We'll get through the show. Yes, more Timelines Talks. Absolutely. We'll reassemble the masses, and I don't think we can talk stars into coming back, but then might get Auto in it. We'll get Frank. I'm still hoping is going to do his USA one at some point. Yeah, let's talk Prodigy. So, for those that don't know, Prodigy got completely cut off from Paramount Plus. Not just cancelled, got cancelled. Bear in mind, and we heard it from the horse's mouth when we had Aaron Waltke on, that Prodigy season 2 was pretty much done. Pretty much, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, done. Paramount, in its infinite wisdom, went, nah, we don't want it. We don't want this whole thing you've just produced we've already put money into, and we can release on here. Nah, we don't want it. We don't. Nah. Just Put it over there. Put it in the bin. Just fucking chuck it away. They don't. They cut it. Not just that, they just completely wiped it from Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus, the home of Star Trek. Their words, the home of Star Trek. No. Apparently not. I had a little rant video about this already, so if you want to go watch me get really angry about this for an hour, go and watch that, but I will still be angry about it, because why would they do that? Well, we know why they did it. It's so terrible. Oh, thank you, Namer, thank you. Why would they do that? Because it's a tax write-off. It was a tax write-off. A few other shows got cancelled. There was a Grease spin-off show that got cancelled. And a few other ones, apparently some other fan stuff, some more stuff's been cut, just completely gone. Like, I can understand them cancelling a show, would be pissed off, but I could understand them going, I wasn't making enough money to now make the bucks, all this kind of stuff. They go, yeah, season 2, and done. And we'll be like, okay, it was fun. I'd still be fairly annoyed, but no, they've just decided Paramount Plus is no longer the home of Star Trek. And from the things I've been hearing and reading around the sidelines, sounds like Paramount is in a lot of trouble. There is a lot going on with Paramount that is meaning that maybe other Star Trek shows might be heading that way. There might be maybe a little Strange New World season 3 might be not looking into it. But apparently they're looking to sell. Buta says, yeah, I can see that. And the question that I raised when I did my little Prodigy rant is, who would buy Star Trek? Who would buy Star Trek? Not that's not me being disparaging. Not saying who would buy Star Trek. No, plenty of people will buy Star Trek. It's a fucking huge franchise. Hey, stars. Who would do that? A lot of people have been saying, hey, Disney buy Star Trek. I wouldn't want that, because Disney would just, you got room for me? Have I got room for you? Let's find out. Let's see. I'll hop over onto the Discord. You get in the Discord and I will flip things out. Maybe you can help me, because I'm just going to be choking my lungs out. We can keep this going. Right. We will continue this conversation in a moment. Give me 5. All right, give me 5 minutes while I work out setups and stuff like that. But yes, who would buy Star Trek? I'd buy Star Trek. I would buy Star Trek. You ever had those things like when you're in the shower and you sort of play head games with yourself, don't you? Something to do while you're washing your body and all this kind of stuff. And I'd be like, wow, what would I do if I had Star Trek? What series would I launch? And things like that, everything like that. Amazon have Stargate, have done nothing with it, but still, yeah. There has been some rumblings about a Star NSG-1 relaunch. I believe the writer, I forget his name, Brad something, said that, they've got a script ready to go with maybe some interested parties, but we've heard that before. But yes, let me just change tack here. I won't go anywhere as far as you guys are concerned, but I will appear on air and work this out. Let me do that. Turn on my camera. Let me just figure this out. Pop it out. Watch as my computer just goes, what are you doing? Trying to do 2 things at once? Are you mad? And then if I go here, no, oh my word, what does that do? Let's try that. Let's try that. That looks a bit better. So when stars will pop up over here when he's ready. Let's just pop over here for now. Brad Wright, thank you, Stephen Reed, thank you. So yes, no, we don't want Disney to buy Star Trek, do we? Really? They'd probably funnel money into it. However, with the current situation, with they're cutting a lot of things with Star Wars and Marvel, they're not doing half as many shows as they used to, and I think people are going to be like, well, we want to buy it, but we don't want to spend a lot of money on it, so we got to be careful. Amazon would definitely wouldn't want Warner to buy it. Ooh, look what's happened to DC. Hopefully James Gunn will get that back into track. But Amazon, maybe. Amazon have done some interesting things with their TV series. Apple wouldn't be a bad shout. Someone messaged Apple Plus. I don't think I'd mind. I'm not an Apple fanboy by any means. I think I have an iPad and I have a Google Pixel. So I'm not tied to any one brand really. Apart from Star Trek, of course. Yeah, so, yeah, it is looking like there may be a cell of Star Trek possibly coming in the future by seeing what's happened with you know, if they'd have just cancelled Prodigy and just went and kept it on the service, no one would be waving the panic siren. But hey-ho, there it is. But yes, so the interesting thing is, there's something I read today. Apple, oh, hang on, more comments. Apple would be the worst option. Their corporate philosophy is pretty much opposite to Trek. You're not wrong. Yeah, you're definitely not wrong. It all depends who wants to buy money and buy the product and put money into it, because that's what you got to do. You know, if you buy Star Trek, you've got an absolute history. I can't handle the stars flow. My throat can't handle the stars flow. No, that sounds real wrong. Oh dear, let's no one clip that. No, the interesting thing that I read was back in May, because earlier in the year, Playmates released a ton of figures from Star Trek Prodigy. You know, Dal and Gwyn and all sorts of things like that, all characters like that. And there was supposed to be a hologram Janeway model coming out. It got cancelled in May with no real reason, and that maybe could have been the early warning sign to say, like, maybe they're not going to do anything more. Paramount's pulling out of a lot of things. Paramount's maybe selling itself, and all these licenses are suddenly just going to go woof up in the air. Excuse me. What's this? Hang on. Time talks. I'm doing my best to promote it to others. You are an absolute star, Dean Dixon. We are actually on a journey at the moment to try and get 1,000. Oh, Stars is here. Hang on a minute. Let me go here.
I was wondering when you would notice.
No, sorry, I had something pinged up on my other screen there. Hey, buddy, how are you? Oh no, that's not right.
I'm doing well. What is that Discord thing then? Get out of here.
Yeah, get that gone. How are you, my friend? How was work?
I am. The reason I am here is because I want to de-stress after work. So de-stress me, Idol.
I will de-stress you. Let's talk about how Prodigy got cancelled unfairly. How sad are you? I haven't spoken to you.
Dude, like.
Oh, I think you're on your other microphone at the moment.
Am I on my other mic?
Yeah.
Oh, I might be. Hang on. One second.
There's a go. And he's gone. And he's back. We're having a proper professional stream tonight. This is going so well.
Always professional. Yeah. Right, still coming through the bad one?
Maybe. I think so.
Oh, hang on.
Bye, hello. Yes.
That should be a bit healthier now.
Yeah,
Hello.
that's much nicer.
There we go. Discord was playing Jack and Apes. So
as it does.
Prodigy. Here's the thing, right? I love Strange New Worlds. I like Discovery quite a fair bit. Lower Decks is great. Picard season 3 I have now finished.
Oh,
I finished it last night. We can talk about that. But here's the thing, right? I'm gonna come out and say it. Prodigy is actually the newest thing that New Trek has done overall.
Oh yeah.
Because I like Discovery, and yes, it's mostly original characters, but it was heavily entrenched in that TOS nostalgia. Burnham was attached to Spock as a character, all of these things. Strange New Worlds is a nostalgia series. Picard is a nostalgia jerk-off session. Lower Decks is great in that it is full of original characters, but it is 90% references to other Star Trek things and in-jokes. But Prodigy was none of those things. Prodigy was a sequel to Voyager, but a stealth sequel to the point where you don't have to have watched Voyager, really, to enjoy it at all. And it wasn't exactly pushing the envelope, because it was very traditional Trek, especially as time went on. But it was, I'd say, the newest of them all. So the fact that that's the one that got canned after season 1 is a bad sign, and halfway through pre-production as well. Like post-production, I think.
Are you more or less annoyed that it was cancelled for a tax break, rather than just a straight, this isn't making us any money?
Well, here's the thing, right? I told this to my friend Mikey, who I've been taking through all the New Trek. He's a little bit behind me, but I've been showing him the virtues of New Trek. And the instant I explained to him the Prodigy situation, he said, "This sounds like revenge against writers for the writers' strike."
Yes, yeah, that's a point, actually.
And it could be that as well. And the thing is, they wouldn't be able to say that if it were the case.
Yeah. Because Aaron Moltke, who we had a very good interview with, was seen on the picket line. Good for him, you know. And people should be supporting these writers against these scummy tactics that these streamers are taking. Like, it's dire. It's really bad.
And I could see that being a very nefarious tactic of, guess what? You get off the picket line, or it's your show next. We can just replace you like that. We'll find a scab who will take your job, and your series, the work of art that you have been putting on, you know, put so much love into, dead because you decided to stay up. I could see that being potentially a thing. I don't know how anti-union Paramount is, but especially given everything else about them and given the general corporate climate, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I think this is definitely like putting in mind that Captain America quote from, like, what was it, Civil War, and he's like, "No, you move." That whole quote was
plant yourself by the tree of truth and say, "No, you move." It doesn't matter what everyone says. Yeah.
Exactly. So if right. So they're shopping Prodigy around, and I'm pretty confident, because it's a Nickelodeon joint as well. Nickelodeon kind of like, no, we like this, and they wanted to produce more. If they were to go somewhere else, I would imagine that will probably happen, like somewhere like Amazon maybe will pick them up or something like that. But should this happen to all of Trek, like we're hearing, like we were just talking about Stars, like all of Star Trek, if suddenly Paramount goes, no, we're selling everything because we've been mismanaged ourselves into this fucking hole, where would you want Star Trek to go, or who do you think is more likely to buy the immense property that is Star Trek?
So here's the thing. I don't think that Star Trek is that expensive. I say that as someone who loves this series to death, but it has never been as big as Star Wars. It is nowhere as big as Marvel. It does not, like, you see the figures for the box office, and it's like they make okay money.
Yeah.
But they never make it the return of even like a Spider-Verse, I don't think.
Well, I think like movies and TV shows something different. Like I think there was a
definite... but that's part of the equation, right? It's very hard to directly work out the monetary line from the TV series, right? Apart from merchandising. I think if you went to Disney, I could see them snapping it up just because it would be good for them to have. Like, it's not a bad thing for them to own. Prodigy would be good for the kids to have. It's a nice, massive amount of backlog for them to add. They would probably finally start merchandising it correctly, and Star Trek fans will pay for good merchandise. But I don't know if I want it, and I'm fairly certain it would start coming up into the realm. Yeah, merchandise Trek is bad. It's not in a good place. Disney would fix that. Disney would merchandise the fuck out of it, and I'm kind of here for that. But I don't think they would do it. And I think if they did, they would also probably run into some degree of monopoly law in terms of how much intellectual property you're allowed to have. I feel like Disney's already skirting on that edge. I could see that being a problem.
I don't know.
Also, Disney is doing the exact same thing. With their taking their series off with tax breaks and stuff like that. Amazon, I could see.
You can no longer watch
Jeff
the Star
Bezos
Wars
is a
Christmas
massive
special.
sci-fi nerd. Yeah.
With the Wookiees.
Amazon's not a possibility.
I'd hope if they sell it, Star Trek would not just be a small part of a huge empire and a relatively small and tightly knit thing afterwards. I think that
I don't think that's really a thing anymore.
I think Star Trek will work really good as an underdog. Like, culturally, as a phenomenon, is huge. Like, it has always been at the forefront of, like, inspiration for astronauts and scientists and people, sort of like, you know, as their sort of like fixed point to say, like, this is what I owe certain things for. And my, you know, I even talk to myself, my moral values come from watching Picard being who he is. And I you know, like, you know, I have the little bracelet essentially that says, what would Picard do? When I think about decisions, like, that has been a huge master in my life, and like a lot of people as well. But I think that is worth, not to corporate people, but to emotionally, as worth more than all the money in the world, really. And I think that is definitely something that people would want. Like you say, it's not expensive.
I definitely think if you look at the market value of Trek, I don't even know if it would hit like $500 million. I don't think it would even hit that.
No, which is probably
makes it as an inexpensive proposition.
Yeah,
I kind of like that it's not a massive cash cow, because it means that they can afford to do weird things like the Section 31 movie, which hopefully is going to happen. I'm now less sure that's going to happen now that Prodigy can.
I fucking told you.
Yeah, but you didn't know about this was going to happen.
Or did I?
Yeah, Amazon could buy it. I could see that being a thing. Bezos loves Trek. It was, you know, they had the Picard deal for the longest time. I could see that.
Yeah, but Bezos bought The Expanse, produced it, and then cancelled it before finishing all the books. So it's like, you love this series, but you won't let them finish it? Come on.
True. I mean, they also have a history of throwing a lot of money behind badly written like crap anyway. So like they can afford to throw some money by some well written things.
Very true.
Apple is a possibility, but I don't see them doing it.
No,
it doesn't feel like an Apple move to buy Star Trek. That doesn't feel like an Apple move.
Someone in comment,
they would rather develop their own original products. I'm pretty sure.
I'm just scanning now. Someone in comments said about they've already got a history with some sci-fi stuff, and Ron Moore with For All Mankind. So they got their foot in the door.
Yeah.
That Ron Moore would probably be like, oh yeah, get me back on Star Trek again.
But I think I think the thing with Apple is that they want to develop their own original series. I haven't heard a lot about them buying existing ones. That's the thing with Apple.
That's true. I wonder if they have. I mean, I suppose they've got the capital to do it. They're freaking huge, but I suppose Star Trek would be expensive. But it's. Are we doom scrolling here? Are we like presenting for the worst? Like, are we going to enter a new dark age again? I kind of hope we're not, because we're kind of in one of the best. This is like the best possible moment we're at right now. But the thing is, here's the thing to delineate as well. You've got Paramount and you've got CBS. CBS are the ones that are producing and releasing Star Trek. Paramount are funding and doing the producing, or they're doing the distributing, essentially. So it would more be CBS that gets sold, and with all the, CBS has got a huge library of things under its belt. So it will be the CBS that goes, and hopefully if they can retain control and keep Star Trek going on the way it is, just under a new label, Amazon, Apple, Disney, whatever, we should be fine. Chris Cobb says, out of the left field, Microsoft will buy Star Trek. Why not? Xbox Game Pass, you can now watch Star Trek on that.
I wouldn't hate that. That would get me to buy an Xbox Series X, I'm not going to lie. I think it's... So let me ask you a question, right? While they have canned Prodigy, what else does Paramount Plus actually have that is a massive draw for their service?
As someone that watched the Halo series, not that.
Definitely not that.
They have Yellowstone. Yellowstone is pretty huge. A lot of people like that.
Yeah, that's the Harrison Ford thing, right?
I don't know. I've never watched it, but it's Western kind of thing. They've got a spin-off series happening as well. Halo's not their biggest draw, but it is one of their franchises. They've got loads of stuff they have on repeats and restreams. I think like SpongeBob SquarePants is one of their biggest draws as well, but I don't think that's unique to it.
So it's like, if you get rid of Star Trek, then you're basically kind of dying. Like, I can't... It doesn't have a big tentpole. It's not like Disney Plus. It's not like Apple, where they've been developing their own kind of stuff like Foundation. Like, that's a big push the boat out moment by Apple. But Paramount Plus, they just kind of exist on a lot of back catalogue.
It's we said it when, like, because it started off, we were there, CBS All Access into Paramount Plus and all that, and everyone said at the time, just like, why? Like, it was when everyone's trying to carve out their own, you've got Peacock, you've got Apple Plus, you've got, Paramount Plus, and everyone's trying to carve out their own little space in the streaming community. I'm like, no, you're just making people pirates again. We're forgetting the big one, Netflix. Would Netflix buy it back?
Netflix is a possibility. They did have the distribution rights for Discovery right out of the gate. That was a big thing back in the day. But they've also been trying to trim the fat, as it were, and I don't know if they would take the risk. I don't know if they would. That being said, as I recall, their figures were really positive for Star Trek when they had it. I remember, they were talking about how Voyager was a massive thing during people were just watching Voyager over and over again because it's so bingeable. But yeah, Netflix, Kyra is right. I think I have heard kind of dire things about Netflix's financial things. I don't know if they would push the boat out and buy it at the moment.
And this is the state of it. It's the worst state because everyone's cost cutting and things like that. And no one wants to buy. At a state where Paramount's like, we want to sell, and like everyone's like, we don't want to buy, is this a point where we kind of go like, oh shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think that people would leave Star Trek on the table. I think that someone like Disney would be like, fuck it, we've got the money, we'll buy it.
Yeah.
We'll buy it with the leftover change from what we made from the Little Mermaid remake. It's like, Disney makes such silly money. They make such silly money that they could just afford to buy it. Like,
you got me with that.
These are the levels of scale. Like, when you think of Paramount Plus versus fucking Disney, it's like, these are not the same kind of corporate entity, really.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking leftover change from a bad Disney remake that is doing quote unquote badly. It's like, we can fucking throw that at buying Star Trek. You can monetize that. Star Trek is very easily monetizable.
Oh god, it's a waste. It's so much wasted potential. Like we said that, like ages ago. Like the merchandising alone, or look at what happened with Eagle Moss. Like we were just talking about Eagle Moss before you came on.
Yeah.
Like you could make a killer make it with those models and like Airfix kits and things like that. It's ridiculous, and no one takes advantage of it properly.
Yeah, it's true. And it's like, if you even think about it, like, imagine, and I know this is speaking as a niche, right? But imagine this, right? Imagine they opened up a Star Trek section of Disneyland. Imagine it. Like, even if it's just like, like a few, like Las Vegas Star Trek experience, right? Just that level of scale.
Yeah.
Like, you would get nerds coming. I would make the effort. I would be like, I kind of want to go to Star Trek.
I mean, they've done Super Mario World recently. Have you seen that over in,
exactly.
in Disney? Like, that would be insane. But the worrying thing if Disney bought it, though, the worrying thing is, like, would they eventually go, like, should we do Darth Vader versus Picard? Should we cross over?
I don't think they have a history really of doing that.
No, but could you imagine? Like, this is always the thing. Like, there was people talking about Disney buying the DC universe, and then finally, like, they were saying, wow, we could just merge it all together, Batman and Iron Man together, and you think like someone will have the license to go out there and say, hey, let's do a what if, let's do a Star Wars Visions thing, and say like, let's do this animated thing where finally it's the Enterprise versus the Death Star, or the Star Destroyer. Like, we can finally.
I mean, if you think about it, like that would get people to watch it. It's like in the end, it's like, but it wouldn't hurt the brand. Like, guess what? Star Trek is a brand you can't really hurt anymore because you've already had all the worst parts of it. We had Picard season 2, we had TNG season 1, we had Enterprise. Like, we've already had all the worst dregs. Like, anything that Disney does can't really be any worse or embarrassing. And I think so. I don't know if you heard about this, but Secret Invasion, the newest Marvel streaming service, I remember hearing it was in a bit of dire straits, right? I heard that it had the second lowest streaming figures of any MCU project, I think only above Miss Marvel. And I believe it was 1 million people were watching it.
Okay.
I bet you fucking anything at least 2 or 3 times that watched Strange New Worlds on the dot the instant it became available.
Without a doubt.
So I bet you if it's a case of, okay, Disney comes up to Paramount Plus and they go, okay, we're interested. Show us your streaming figures. What's the average episode of Strange New Worlds do? And they go, And then they go, okay, so what's the average budget of one of these things? Oh, a few million? And then they go, so how much merchandise do you produce on a regular basis? None.
They just bring out a pallet. We got this.
Yeah, no, it's on phases alone. On toy phases alone. When was the last time you saw a toy phaser in fucking stores, right?
Well, do you not remember? They released a $500 Dust Buster about 3 months ago, didn't they?
Yeah. I don't know, Buta. Star Trek is not a cheap show to make, except Disney is also bought Doctor Who, the distribution rights for that, and they're throwing so much money at that. They're throwing like millions at each episode of that.
Right. They've gone big into Bad Wolf Studios, haven't they? I forgot about that. Yeah, that's interesting.
And if you think about it, where these two, Star Trek and Doctor Who, are kind of in the same niche.
Did you know,
but
by the way,
very different takes.
Did you know, back in 2005, there was plans for a David Tennant to appear on the NX-01. That was actually going to happen. A script was written, and the talks were happening, but I believe it was either Enterprise's cancellation or just talks broke down. But that was a thing that was going to happen at some point. And there was a couple of Star Trek Doctor Who comic crossovers, but that nearly happened.
Yeah. But if I think about it, it's like if they're willing to take the jump for Doctor Who, I think they could. I could see them doing it for Star Trek, because Star Trek is just as big a cultural monolith, kind of just as niche. Like Doctor Who is like big cultural zeitgeist was like a decade ago, but they still push the money out.
Yeah.
Strange New Worlds, for example, and Picard season 3. I bet you, if Disney Plus took a look at those figures, they'd be like, "There's something here. We can leverage this." And don't forget, Picard season 3 and Disney, monopolizing on nostalgia, like shaking hands in the middle there,
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff to mine there.
I think Disney are kind of learning from the mistake. Like, as soon as they launched Disney Plus, they just went, "Let's make everything a series. Let's just put all this money out." And then they ran out of money and kind of went, "Let's make less of those, and let's make one of these a film. let's just do less of that because maybe this was a mistake because we're not making our money back." And I think like things like Xbox are finding that with the Game Pass. They're like, "Let's put all these money into these companies and bring everything on the Game Pass." I'm like, "Oh, why isn't this making us more money? Hang on."
Well, to be fair, with Xbox, it's because they don't put out any fucking games.
Well,
like half the games that they've announced haven't come out. Like I've been watching that with some interest and like, cool, I want to see that. 5 years later, nothing. Yeah. Cairo points out merchandise. The Paramount executive asked the Disney executive, "What do you mean with that?" It's like just fucking like uniform shirts, com badges, anything like this.
God,
like
there is
Disney would be all over that.
Yeah, eBay is the best source for like uniforms, and how bad is that? Like I bought my 2 uniforms from China. Like, come on.
Yeah, Star Trek might be bigger than Doctor Who. I think I could see that being the case because they've had like kind of oddly synchronous falls and dives, but I think Star Trek is just as recognizable, if not as much as Doctor Who.
I think it's definitely in the British market. I think the British market, Doctor Who is bigger for worldwide.
Oh yeah,
Star Trek is bigger, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I think David Tennant basically saved that series.
Well, yes, yeah. Chris Eccleston also, don't forget.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if anyone, Disney makes the most sense, and they're the ones that, now that I remember about their Doctor Who buy, I could actually see them doing it.
Interesting. Yeah. Not much was that. But anyway, yeah, Prodigy's gone. I hope they bring it back.
Guess what? If Disney bought it, they bring it back. They would be all over an animated series. They can monopolize the fuck out of that. They would love that.
Let me pop something into chat right now. This is a change. I'm going to pop it in both chats because I realise I can't post to both at the same time. This is a change petition. It has many, many, many tens of thousands of signatures. Please add your voice to them if you want to save Star Trek Prodigy, and if you have Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever, the new threads, if you're on that, whatever,
Mastodon, whatever,
Mastodon, that one as well, go hashtag save Star Trek Prodigy or hashtag save Prodigy and get the word out. They want to hear it. They need to. There are people that are doing it daily. I put it onto most of my tweets as well because it's such a good series. If you've not watched it, unfortunately you can't. Maybe there are ways you could go and find on the internet to procure the series. And I can't even not advocate piracy because there is no way to watch this series. You can buy...
I think we have hit the point now where it's like if you literally cannot watch the series because it is not available, guess what? You have a moral imperative to pirate it.
Well,
you're not only are you're being denied the ability to watch something, you are helping preserve it and pass on the memory and archive a important cultural artifact. Your responsibility.
Some good straw manning there. You can. Damn right. Well, the funny thing is as well, there is the Blu-ray which has the first 10 episodes on.
Yeah,
it's sold out.
I don't want to know if the second half
everywhere. So you can buy the first 10 episodes, but you can't watch the... So if you can buy a Blu-ray, you can watch the first 10 episodes, in which case, you don't need to go to the pirate, but you still can't watch the last 10. And the last 10 are easily the better half. Like, the second half of Prodigy is amazing. So, just freaking, while you're waiting, just pirate it. And then when it comes out somewhere, you can be like, okay, maybe I'll buy that now, So, it's... Yeah, and positive news, like Cairo says, Prodigy's been nominated for a TCA award. Like, it's been winning awards and being nominated left, right, and centre.
Yeah. It's like it's not a series that was massively controversial. Like if you think about it, like compared to Discovery or even Picard to degree, it's like it did not flounder. Everyone was like, "This has got legs. This will go places." But,
you get to see Kate Mulgrew mind swap with a teenager, and she plays a teenager on the USS Dauntless, and try and convince everyone that she's Janeway, but she's not. And it's so funny. It's Kate Mulgrew's best work.
She's such a really underrated voice actress. She does great. So good.
Sorry, die.
Who do I think will win, the Death Star or the Enterprise J? The Enterprise, always.
Yeah, because the Enterprise J is described as like a big city ship in space, and so is the Death Star, really. But the Death Star kind of just has one big laser pointing in one direction. So I feel like the J could go around that.
Yeah, Death Star was defeated by one X-Wing. Also, I'm thinking about the architecture of the Death Star and how it's constructed. It's like, cool, hey, give me a narrow band, ultra high frequency phaser right down into the crust and hit the main reactor, and it's gone.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't even have proper deflector shields, as far as I'm aware.
No. They can just slide in there somewhere. There's a big hole in the middle of it. They can just slide it.
A shuttle could do.
Shuttle, yeah.
Transport a fucking torpedo down there. Like, that's the thing. Anytime one of these nerds comes up with, "Oh, Star Wars versus Star Trek, who would win?" All it takes is for us to go, so we're doing the rules are open. You can use whatever tech, you can use whatever bullshit garbage you want in Star Wars. Cool. Transporters win the conflict
but you know
instantly.
What? You know, with the difference with the Death Star. The Death Star's full of the Republic. They'll blow shit up left, right, and center. This is Starfleet. Yeah. Is it ethically good to blow up all these innocent stormtroopers? Like,
yes.
Okay, that's fine then.
All they had to do is see them blow up one planet, and it's like, okay, cool, you're a threat.
Yeah,
we are in Dominion war footing. That's it.
Yeah,
and it's like
the Cisco.
any of the hero ships, like the Defiant, would kick its ass. Like Voyager would kick its ass. Yeah, no, exactly. Like any of them would do it. Enterprise G would also do it.
I had a summon. Okay, so right, you've now watched Picard season 3, and I would love. I have been itching to hear your thoughts about this in the last however long it's been, and I just because you talking about the Death Star remind guys from this point, Picard season 3 spoilers. It's been long enough. You should have watched it by now, stars.
Yeah, no. If I have watched it and I was dragging my heels for the longest time, you should have watched Picard season 3.
So, did you not feel that end sequence was very Death Star runish with the Enterprise D?
Extremely.
So go on. What were your thoughts overall season 3 Picard? I need to hear this, partly because I need to stop talking.
Okay, so Picard season 3 is the ultimate confirmation that these are not 3 seasons of a show. These are 3 completely different shows under the same umbrella, when they have no cohesion whatsoever. They occasionally throw a continuity bone your way, but these things do not. They are not even about the same thing. Like, they are, I guess, about Picard.
Picard's a robot? What?
Yeah, it comes up maybe once every now and then.
Just to remind you, there are previous seasons.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the Picard season 3 starts off a little bit. I think it starts getting really into its stride around about like the halfway point, and I think it starts becoming a bit more of its own thing. And then I think it kind of stumbles in the final half.
Interesting.
Because I was watching the literal plot device of only the old people can save us. Only the old nostalgia ship can save us. The young generation are against us. I'm like, this is for boomers. This is for people like who are like 40 or 50 years old.
I've still got it. I've still got it.
Yeah, no, it's like I understand that we're in a generation. Guess what? I watched Indiana Jones 5 the other day.
How was that?
So it was actually quite good. It was actually quite good. But guess what? That was a lot more aware of the fact that it was about a geriatric trying to do an action series. And I was just becoming very aware that, okay, yeah, little bit jerk-offy. Little bit jerk-offy at times. And while... So here's the thing. I like my Star Trek villains to have nuance. I like them to have dimension. And I like them to be fresh. I don't generally love the idea of Xenomorph Queen, melted goop, Borg Queen, Alice Krige, looking like she's been in a microwave, who is spouting off very rote lines. Like, this is way worse than First Contact.
So they had a perfect opportunity, because they basically just airlocked Vadic, and that was it. It was like a very kind of like, oh, was that it? They had a perfect opportunity to have Vadic turn up on the Borg cube at the end, confront the Borg Queen, and actually have the kind of Ragnarok situation, you know, where you had Surtar versus Hela. You know, basically the two villains should go, no, you threw me under the bus, and have them face off against each other and realise that, you know, it's a bit of a, you know, the Dominion versus Borg fight we all wanted to see. They had that opportunity there, and they kind of, like you say, they played it for nostalgia, and it didn't quite work.
You know, here's the thing, right? Is that I was fine with the Borg in how they used them in Picard season 1. I was fine with how they've used the Borg in other series. I was even like, I liked Annie Wersching's Borg Queen. I liked what they did with Jurati in season 2 of Picard. I thought it was like a decent progression. I'm tired. I don't want to see the Borg ever again.
No.
I saw Ed Spielers and the Locutus get up. I saw.
It was a bit Power Rangers, wasn't it?
A little bit. I saw Xenomorph, Borg Queen, looking like Mother Brain from Metroid, all these very stock. It was stock. That was the thing. It was very stock. She was spouting garbage. She was not really, and I think this is what people who were really attached to the Borg as they were in Q Who felt like in First Contact. This feeling of, I think I'm done. I think I'm done with the Borg for 20 years. But you know what I'm even more done with? And you know what I think actually shows a complete creative bankruptcy? And I'm like, guys, you can't do this. If you do this again, I'm actually going to go over there and I'm going to stop you from writing. If I had a nickel for every time the season finale of a new modern Star Trek series had Starfleet blowing each other up because of some dumb fucking virus contrivance bullshit, I would have 3 nickels.
I got a little,
which is a lot.
I got told off by Auto because I kind of spoiled Prodigy for him by saying oh my god, this is just the same as the Prodigy ending. He's like, dude, it's exactly the same. It's a virus coming from an alien species.
Lower Decks
and Lower Decks as well.
Picard all have the exact same fucking ending
in the same year.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. The instant, fucking Shelby. By the way, it was really nice to see Shelby. That was a nice little thing.
Okay, I've got.
Even if she got wasted instantly.
I've got this. If I had a nickel for every time they brought back a legacy character and then just killed them off in the same episode, Q, Shelby, Ro, probably somebody else.
Oh, there's more. There's more. God, I'm no very that. There's more. But just stop doing this plot point. Stop it! I'm begging you. If Strange New Worlds and fucking Discovery do that, I am gonna shit. I'm gonna shit everywhere. Icheb was another one.
Yeah,
there you go. There's at least 4 or 5. Yeah, Picard is really bad about that. And the stuff with Data, that was when it started to get really fanficky. That was when it was this is fix it fix for Nemesis, and I'm like, I understand that you want to run back the Nemesis thing. I understand. And, it was nice to see Brent Spiner acting alongside LeVar Burton. And guess what? LeVar Burton, I think, is not Mr. Trick. He was absolutely incredible. He's kind of an underrated star and all that. But you didn't have to go to whole hog of everyone is resurrected. And you know what I found out afterwards?
Go on.
It was planned to reveal that Ro also had not died.
Oh, okay. What stopped them?
Yeah. I think it was budget.
Oh, what a shame. Well, we still haven't seen the body, so.
Well, but I'm also these are arguably the weirdest, lowest stakes ever. Who died, actually?
No, but
apart from Ro, who died? What were the stakes in here? It was Shelby, I guess.
It was nice. I comment that it's nice that we had a series that didn't just rely on the fact that you're thinking, oh, who's going to die? Well, no one does. I don't like them using deaths as a point to say this is how we're ending the series, just by killing everyone off. I don't mind that, which is kind of.
We had anti-death. We had people just coming back to life, left, right, and center.
Yeah, with the Data thing, he should have not been they were saying, oh yeah, Data's back. I'm like, well, maybe it should have been more. Maybe it should have been Lore with a little bit of Data's empathy in there, so he actually turns out to be a good guy.
Well, there was a kind of there.
Yeah, or maybe it could have been just a completely new robot. But yeah, they want you know why they did it. You know why they did it. Everyone said, oh, Data's back. You don't mind that you didn't want to die. Now I'm fine. This is new body, new me. And oh my god, I'm old. I get to experience senility. Joy.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, no, it was it started to feel like fan fiction. And guess what? I love fan fiction. I've written fan fiction, but I didn't go up to Paramount and ask them for multiple millions to make it happen.
You could have done. You could have.
I don't know. Clearly I could have.
Patrick Stewart has recently said, I think we could do a movie, a Picard-based movie. Not necessarily all about Jean-Luc Picard, but about all of us. And to take many of those wonderful elements, particularly from season 3 of Picard, and take out of what I think could be an extraordinary movie. I keep telling people and mentioning it, and so far there's been no eager response. But it might happen, and I think it would be a very appropriate way to say, and goodbye, folks.
Dude, the poker game was it. That's it.
Yeah.
It's done. It's done. Like, here's the thing. I love Sir Patrick, right? He's an incredible actor with a great, like, pedigree behind him. He doesn't have it anymore.
He needs to
I'm
stop.
sorry.
Yeah.
He needs to stop. I feel like he should honestly retire, because there were moments in Picard season 3 where his voice was just cracking all over the place.
If
and
I mentioned
he
this before,
he can still act, but
Yeah.
it's not. It hurts the character, really.
There was, if you've ever listened to the It's Got Star Trek podcast, which I highly recommend for everyone, they did a whole, they did the reviews every week, and Dan, one of the guys, gets sound clips every week of each of the episodes and plays it to hilarious repetition. It's very funny. It always has me giggling. But he takes some of the lines that Picard says, and he just sounds like he's slurring. He's very, he has not got the vocal range. He's 82 years old, and like, as Buta
his
says,
vocal cords are shredded, and it's like, I'm not holding it against him,
No,
but it's
no.
a case of you should be able to hear yourself on your dailies and go, I should stop.
Yeah.
Not ask for another movie. Like, you just hang out with them. Just go to a bar and hang out with the TNG cast. They'll come with.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be on set, guys.
It would be
Sorry.
nice to, maybe like if Star Trek Legacy does get produced, which is sounding, there's some positive news. Like maybe if whatever happens with Star Trek keeps going, there may be a Star Trek Legacy in the future. But it would be nice, like if Captain Seven just turns up and goes to a bar and hangs out, like you say, with the Tartar Castle, has an email, a conversation with Picard over the view screen, and that could be the way that they could go forward with it, and Patrick could still be like, I'm still Picard.
Yeah. These things where it's like, I don't want to denigrate him, because he's like a great
He's
man who has
legend,
done great things
absolute
outside.
legend, yeah.
He's done great things outside of acting as well. He's a great advocate against domestic violence and a great advocate for the European Union and all these things. But like, he's just old, and it's like, at this point you should, let it end on a relative high note.
Yeah.
Shatner is fueled by spite and like Canadian Canadian national pride
And NFTs.
Like he's, yeah. And also like existential horror at the planet.
Yes. Ever since he went to space,
You hear
they
all
kind
those
of
quotes,
changed it.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Shatner's doing really
he's-
well for what he's doing. And Ego, yeah, absolutely Ego.
He's fueled by ego.
What go? We can't have this conversation about Picard season 3 and not talk about Worf stars.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
Every line is a banger. Every
Swords
single
are
one
fun.
is a banger. I shall make it a threesome. Like, just like they just amped up the Namer, I'm glad he did Picard season 3, because guess what? If he'd ended on Picard season 2, I would have been really fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I think this is a decent place to leave it off, but
Yeah.
that should be the cap off. I wouldn't mind seeing Worf again, because guess what? Michael Dorn clearly has it. Like, Samurai Worf is probably the coolest he's ever been.
Yeah. Even falling asleep on the bridge was. I fucking love that. He's just sitting
that
there,
was
he's
fine.
just
I was like, he's had a long day. He got shot like 3 times. I'll allow it. And John the Freight still has, like, everyone still has it to a degree. It's just a case of, I think, like, Brent Spiner and Patrick Stewart, take a step back. Everyone else, you can keep on coming back if you want.
Even Brent Spiner, they killed off Alton as well, which is a bit like, if he wants to come back, just not as Data, like it doesn't make sense. But yeah, there they are. He said, I don't want to be in the makeup, but I don't know if you ever saw the deep fake they did, where you remember the start of Picard season 1 where Data's doing the painting and everyone's looking in the Starfleet uniform, going like, oh yeah, you're old now because this just happens at age. But someone actually did a very good deep fake, which took him back
I did see that, yeah.
TNC's one. I'm just like, that's flawless. Like, do what they did with Mark Hamill in Mandalorian. I think it was season 2. Oh no, it is in the Book of Boba Fett. Not the bad one, the one where they actually did it quite well. In the Book of Boba Fett, that looked
I
decent.
know, I'm getting.
That's all you got to say about that.
I don't know.
No, Worf was awesome. I love Worf in it, but
Worf is
I have to say, like, I think, like, I definitely had the little chills up my spine when I saw the Enterprise coming out and doing. People saying like, "Wow, the Enterprise D never moved like that." And I'm like, well, if they had the budget, you bet they would.
Well, because it was a fucking like 7-foot big model. Like, what do you fucking think it was gonna move like?
Yeah. So yeah, I liked. You know, there was that parts of that nostalgia did hit me in various good ways. Like them walking onto the bridge was definitely like oh, this is cool. But partly because like watching the production of it, how much they went into recreating it as well, just for essentially 2 days, was really nice. And it did. A part of me is like, that did feel like coming home a little bit, because it was a bit like, oh wow, I'm seeing all these people on the bridge, even if they are about another 30 years older. That was a nice moment. But
so I feel like we have to talk about something that this is accidentally exposed. Idle, what's the average crew complement of a Galaxy-class starship?
Like hundreds.
1,000.
1,000,
1,024 as of TNG. But clearly, that was unnecessary.
Well, Ortega
clearly,
said in the last
you
episode,
just need 7 people on the fucking bridge. That's all you need.
Ortega's even said in Ad Astra per Aspera, she even said, the ship pretty much flies itself. But the one thing I want to know, because I can
there is no one in engineering.
I can probably answer this. It came from the Fleet Museum. We saw no one else apart from LaForge and his daughter. There had to be like thousands of people there in that little starbase. Otherwise, what the fuck are they keeping all the lights on for? And so I reckon they took some crew on to staff some of the essential services, and
you don't get to see any of them. Of
you just don't see them. They're not allowed on the bridge because that's VIP only.
Yeah, you don't get to see it, but they're all geriatrics as well.
Yeah, on the turbo lift, there's a velvet rope and there's like a bouncer, just like, no, you're not allowed on.
No, you're not part of the TNG thing. Booty, you're not wrong that you can have the ship out for shorter periods with not many people around, like in Star Trek 3, except for the fact that when Scotty did that, it took one torpedo hit and the entire automation center went boom.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. It's like, all it would have taken, like, I'm guessing, is like one bad like hit from the Borg cube, and I guess it would have been fucked.
Yeah.
I have to say, part of the reason why I think that finale kind of goes a bit is that there's not a ton of build-up to it. There's not a lot of
the last 2 episodes
foreshadowing
are definitely a mini movie compared to the rest of the season. It definitely feels like its own separate thing. I have a big issue with how dumb Starfleet is, because like you say, they've done this 3 times now. This is the last time. They're like, we're going to link all our systems together. Like, that can't be fucking hacked. It is a real, like...
You would think that Admiral Elizabeth Shelby, who got her big command jumpstart in the anti-Borg weapon training program, would be like, maybe I shouldn't leave us open to,
that
potential simulation compromise.
There's never been a need. I mean, like they said, like the worst part of this was they said the entire fleet's here, so everyone's thinking like every starship. Well, it took Terry Matalas had to explain on Twitter to say like, no, not the other, not the entire fleet wasn't there. There were people out and about, which leads me to believe like they were writing this and then having to explain it later, which is kind of says to me that's kind of bad writing in a way. But like having the whole fleet in one position is just screaming for an attack. Like it's not clever. It's not Starfleet, and it doesn't sound like the 25th century like technological.
It literally would have taken one Klingon bird of prey with a trilithium torpedo, as produced by Dr. Soren. Boop, son, and there goes Starfleet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it didn't even have to be the Borg attacking. Anyone could have taken a pop at them and they would have probably succeeded, but they're going to be this dumb.
Yeah. And the worst thing was, as well, you could just break it by line of sight. All the Titan had to do was cloak.
Yeah, that was a bit odd.
And it was a bit like, oh, and they're gone. Oh, that's fine. We'll just cloak. We'll go. Like,
that's fine.
A stolen bounty cloak as well from your Star Trek.
Well, that was going to happen. Yeah, that thing's been stolen more times than fucking a British colonial artifact.
Part of me going to the back of that was like, well, I want to see maybe they're going to like all this new. They're going to do the Battlestar Galactica thing, aren't they? They're going to like, right, all these new ships of all this interconnected networks. They're all compromised. Let's go back to the Fleet Museum and get all the old ships out and get them to fight. And we get they only do the Enterprise. They could have the Voyager out, the Defiant, all on their own little separate. Wouldn't that have been cool? No.
No.
Just the D.
It's the Enterprise D because this is the TNG send off,
which was fun,
and that's fine.
I'm ragging on it. I enjoyed it a lot, but yeah, the flaws are there definitely.
Yeah, I definitely think that Wolf could have taken the Defiant and flown it single-handedly. Like that would have been very easy.
They just need to They wouldn't even need to have made the Defiant like bridge from scratch. They could have just had him on the view screen going, tough little ship, and like you could have had that little nostalgia throwback, couldn't you? Like today is a good day to die. Who doesn't want to see those little quad phasers fire again? Like, come on.
Yeah, the Defiant's the coolest. So here's the thing, is that like while I'm ragging on Picard season 3, it's a lot less embarrassing than Picard season 2. I don't necessarily think it's bad. I just think it was not what I would have done. And I say that because it's exactly what I would have done when I was 15 writing fan fiction. And it's like, as I have grown older, like, so here's the thing, Idle, you'll appreciate this. I write tabletop campaigns.
You do. You write very good tabletop
I
campaigns.
write, well, every now and then. I hit gold every now and then. And especially when I'm writing for Brody and Marie, who are my stable, I write for them a lot. And I tend to write custom ones for them. And every now and then I'll throw in a scene that is a fan service moment, which is just like, this is designed specifically to tailor to you. And I do like that once. I do that once a campaign, because if you do it too often, it gets old. And it stops becoming about telling a new story. It becomes about what about the old story.
So here's the thing.
And it's about moderation. And Picard season 3 has no moderation.
On the flip side of the
problem,
I'm glad they've done this, because they've got all of that nostalgia baiting out there. They've pretty much thrown it all into one season, and now they can move forward and kind of like go, right, you've seen all this, how about some of these things that you like over here? Like, we've got Discovery Season 5 coming out next year, which is going to be pretty much the opposite of that. It's going to be anti-nostalgia baiting, and people will be like, watch Season 3 and kind of go, well, maybe it's time to do something new. And they've kind of got a lot of the old fans to come back in and go, oh, look, it's the proper Next Generation series come back again. Hey, oh, maybe we should check out some of this stuff we've been basically bitching about but not watched for the last, 7 years.
Maybe. I would hope that would be the case.
You think?
But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, as I get further and further along, I'm like, is Picard season 1 actually pretty good?
I'd need to rewatch it. I haven't watched any of Picard. I rewatched
it in the lead up to 2 and 3, and I was like, you know what? Do I actually like Picard season 1 a fair amount? Because it does things. There's some really bad choices in there.
Yeah.
There's some really obviously bad choices.
Just in
But it's
Chosen
a different
2023,
story.
Discovery was cancelled, but they have produced Season 5, so there is still Season 5 coming out in 2024. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so not mention Season 5 is also being given reshoots to turn it into a proper ending, so it's not going to end on a cliffhanger or anything like that.
But yeah, Picard Season 1.
Yeah, Picard Season 1, it's very uneven. But I think in terms of breaking new ground and trying something a bit different, I kind of prefer it in some ways to
I did
Season
like
3.
the angle that Picard was a different person, because Patrick Stewart is a different person at that point. Like, I like that he was bitter and twisted and regretful of things that had happened because of this unexplained stuff that had happened with the Romulan relocation and the synth attacks. And I loved the scene with him and Data at the end, where he finally says goodbye to Data for what we now know of 1 of 3 times. And that was a nice poetic moment to finally, he didn't get to say goodbye in Nemesis. He basically just got to get beamed out. So it's nice to him to have that chat about immortality. But there were some bits in there, like the Narek and Soji stuff was a bit like, and Narissa as well was just not great. And then killing Hugh. My God, why?
But then again, Season 3 is just as bad about that, in some ways. So it has some of the flaws, but in terms of some of the positives, it does some new things. If I think about the depth of character work that went on in Nepenthe, for example, or some of the more...
They watched Nepenthe and thought, let's make a
well.
series out of Nepenthe, and that's what they did. But
So, can I bring something up? What the fuck happened to Kestra?
She was in the Academy,
Is she
apparently.
just sit... No, she isn't.
No, well, apparently according to Terry Matalas on Twitter, she is. See, this is what I mean. They have to explain this stuff in tweets apparently, because Elnor got assigned to the Excelsior. The Excelsior got blown up. Apparently, he wasn't on it. But I like to think he was, because fuck Elnor.
No, I like Elnor. Fuck you. You're a bad man. You're a bad man. You should feel bad. You're a bad man wishing death upon an innocent Romulan teenager. But it's like, I think, what did Elnor do to you? He's named Star Trek in Elvish. That's what he did.
Yeah, that is pretty much my time hate.
He doesn't care about the actual details. Yeah, what happened to Laris? Yeah, no, guess what? That boat has sailed.
Laris died on her way to Shalnock 4.
Yeah, no, like, sorry, you trying to tell me that fucking Picard isn't knocking boots with Beverly? That's happened. That's happened, and it is going to happen repeatedly.
Let's make Jack 2.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God.
I named my son after my dead husband with his best friend. That's not
here's
weird.
The thing. No, that's more common than you think it is. That's
maybe still weird.
What else was it going to be?
I don't know. Chris?
Like,
anything?
No. Why Chris?
I don't
Why
know.
Chris?
Just pulled a name out of my head.
No, here's the thing. You're forgetting that
Maurice.
These are characters. No, he hates his grandfather.
Not after season 2.
Yeah, but guess what? Jack was born long after that.
Oh, okay.
Well, before that, rather. Sorry. But you're also forgetting. This is a fictional character. They do not name their fucking children after random things. They name their children after dead relatives only.
That's true, yeah, like someone said Kestra as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Rainer also has a point. The season 3 Riker Troy arc seems out of sync with season 1. That couple had come to terms with the loss of their son. Yeah, no, the Riker you see in season 1 does not feel like the Riker you see in season 3. They do not seem like the same characters, even though they are explicitly drawing on the same thing. It's like these are reversed. These character arcs are reversed.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. Like he was running away from from what I thought they resolved all that, but the other part of that is I forgot what point I was going to make now. No, it's gone. something about
it's gone.
Riker and Troy in season 1. Benthay. No, it's gone.
Well, it's just like they seem relatively happy on the Pente, and then they have an entire scene in season 3 where they shit on the planet, and it's like, what? Why were you like this?
Yeah. They look gorgeous. They grew tomatoes and everything. He made bad pizza. It was great. Nepenthe was amazing. I want to live on Nepenthe. Yeah. Never mind the Kazinti.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what. There's some weird choices in season 3. Like, if season 3, this is why I'm convinced these are not 3 seasons of the same show. They are completely different. They almost feel like alternate timelines, and also no explanation as to what happened to Jurati's Borg. That got dropped.
Yeah, that was.
Where the f were they?
Yeah, you have this whole Borg sect that are sort of kind of in the Federation. You've got a Borg threat. You would have thought they'd have just, and they're guarding this massive wormhole that's supposed to be approaching a huge threat. That's just.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll let that cook. That's a problem for future me.
That's a problem for a book that's going to come out. That's going to be made non-canon in about 20 years' time when they just relaunch the lot of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what it's going to be. Okay. I also have another problem with Picard season 3.
Namer's just gone. Namer loves season 3. He's just gone.
Here's the thing. I have little problems I have with it, little things. What are your thoughts about how they resolved Raffi's arc, where it's season 1 and season 2, her old family's gone, and then it's season 3. Oh no, everyone's really happy with you now. Everyone's like, oh, you're a raw hero.
Raffi was never really the best developed character. I mean, Michelle Hurd's great. I love her as the character, but her arc is just a bit weak. The stuff with
I thought it was consistent in season 1. I thought it was consistent in season 1.
Yeah.
Season 2 is consistent with season 1, and then season 3 is now we're fine.
I liked her with
all that stuff that your son said. Well, yeah, her
and Worf is a great duo. But right, okay.
I would not have put those two together. But
we're shitting on season 3. I've got my other problem here. Dominion goons, right? Were they changelings, or were they just we couldn't afford Jem'Hadar? Because Raffi managed to defeat a load of them with just sticks, and they're supposed to be changelings? Are they?
They're gooey changelings now. They're organic changelings.
But they can still do the whole tender. They could basically just turn into someone else and wipe the floor with her. And this is a problem as well. They just seem to just kill changelings very easily. Whereas you saw what happened in The Adversary, the season 3 of DS9 finale.
Really hard.
It took an entire ship to catch one. And these changelings had the same ability. You know, Vadek, she escaped through the vents very easily with both Picard and Crusher just missing shots like stormtroopers.
No, you know what the problem is, and this is a problem that we've talked about before. Everyone has just forgotten that you can just set your phaser to wide beam. Yeah. Everyone's forgotten about wide beam.
Never forget about wide beam.
Always
yeah, but Raffi, I think I liked her arc. I don't know. I think her using her husband as a way of kind of like that little fake choice between like who do you owe more to, your service or your family. And her, I don't know. I think the inconsistency was like in season 2, she was like, "I'm back in Starfleet," and then she's like, "I'm in Starfleet Intelligence now." And at the end of it, she's like, "My ex-girlfriend is now my captain." It's a bit like, well, yeah, we're not quite sure. People's like, we're not sure what to do with this character, but Michelle Hurd signed the contract, so let's just have some fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like we killed the rest of them. We're keeping this one character for season 1 and 2. So I guess.
Yeah. How pissed off are you that Rios got basically killed off?
Oh, dude! Like it's now a joke between me and Brody and he died in a bar fight. Like, what a shitty detail!
Yeah.
What an awful way to put a cap on that character to make sure he can't even come back. What an awful way to treat that character.
Or maybe he'll be back in Section 31. Maybe that was a ruse.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Actually, I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that Section 31 or like time travel, the DTI or something like got to Rios and we got to see him. But we don't even see the holograms again. We don't even see.
No.
What a shame.
Yeah, no, they're not even running around, even though she's on the La Serena, which is weird.
She even had what's his name, Emmett, on season 2, being like backup.
Yeah.
Like, they were the best part of season 1, were all his different holograms of himself, because he's such an egotistical man that he has to have versions of himself with different accents, because everyone can prove that the actor can act.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it was just such a weird show. It's like, you know what the problem is? What it actually is. Every moment-to-moment like part is completely fine. It's shot well, it's acted well, it's written okay. But the instant you take a step back and look at the structure, especially in relation to season 1 and 2, it starts making less and less sense. And it becomes very. These are not the logical places that these pieces end up. These are the places that the pieces end up because I want to tell my fanfic. And it's like, that's fine. But it's not what I want Star Trek to be.
Should Stars be writing Star Trek? That's a poll now in.
I don't even know what I'd do. No, you know, I would spread my wings very hard. Oh yeah, the post credits. Yeah, let's run back the Q death as well. That's another anti-death.
Oh, you think in such 3-dimensional terms.
Fuck off. You're not the prophets. Fuck off.
But what if he were?
I'm not the prophets.
Oh.
Okay, also, I have to talk to you about this, Lionel. Is Jack Crusher not a bit of a Gary Stu at this point?
A bit of who?
A Gary Stu? Are you not familiar with this?
No.
So, are you familiar with the term Mary Stu?
Yes. Okay, right.
It's the male version. Because he's a charming, affable con man with a bit of a dark past but a good heart, who everyone will go out to bat for and die for, who has secret backstory and can control people's brains with his Borg transceivers, and even Q is interested in him.
Sorry, Chosen. You're not invisible to us. No, sorry, I missed your last comment. I do apologise. Jack was. I enjoyed Jack. I felt it was cool.
He's a good character, but he's just a little bit overwritten to be important. A little bit.
Yeah. They had a scene. I mean, like
he's everything to everyone.
Previous to season 3, before we saw it, like we just saw Ed Spielers on a poster, and we had no idea of any fun. Like the trailers alluded to nothing, so they had to kind of ramp up quickly that he was this kind of Han Solo-ish, what Picard would have been if he'd had a bit of like less authority,
He was the chosen one, Stars. Yes, he was.
Kind of was. I felt that the fact that his DNA just meant he could be the next Locutus was a very... Oh man, we are shitting on season 3 Picard. Is season 3 Picard bad? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it.
You know what it is? It's what did I say about? What did I say about that last episode of Stranger Worlds? I don't think it's very good, but I did like it.
Yeah. Man.
It's like.
Oh, by the way,
if I look at individual parts. Yeah.
Thanks to Boota for getting out the phrase. I was watching another stream that both me and Boota watch about a Marvel Snap streamer, and Boota managed to get the phrase aggressively average and get him to say, yeah, this is an aggressively average card. I'm like, yes, it's getting out there. It's getting out there. But I like your one of just like, yes, I watched I enjoyed watching it, but also it's terrible.
Yeah, I just think that in terms of structural. In terms of structural integrity, it could have been better constructed. It was not like, you know what it is. It's especially you have a 10-part series, right? And we've talked about the pitfalls of the mystery box plot, right? Which is what Jack kind of is. There's not a lot of foreshadowing to the conclusion here. If your pieces are Dominion War, Changelings, Jack Crusher, all these bits and pieces, Rolaran, your conclusion is not going to be Borg. It's just sort of a weird...
The only foreshadowing was the fact that it was like the first contact theme and like a few little sort of like hints here and there. Like they wanted it to happen, so they made it happen.
Well, they wanted it to be a surprise, but like there's wanting it to be a surprise because you've put really subtle foreshadowing and really subtle hints, and then there's we wanted it to be a surprise by not foreshadowing it at all, so it's going to come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it's like the Borg are now into biological weapons and genetic transceivers.
And the worst part is, they didn't use Seven for any of it. None of the Borg stuff.
All she does is go,
there's a huge link between Seven and the Borg. The biggest link, probably bigger than Picard's link to the Borg. She was assimilated. She was in the collective for most of her young adult life. That should have been a bit... She piloted a cube, the artifact from Picard Season 1, and crashed into a planet and linked and got... She was basically hooked up and became a queen. Yeah, and they did nothing with it. However, you know what it is good to say? Is Captain 7 of 9 of the USS Enterprise G. That feels very, very good. That feels like a nice resolution to her arc from Voyager.
I could see it. It is nice to see her like turn it around and become the character we wanted to see. I think she's had a very odd voyage there. She's had a very odd progression to get to this point. It's because season 1, 2, and 3 are not the same show.
Didn't like about because I loved Shaw. Shaw was great. I loved a kind of anti-hero captain. I loved that he was taking none of Picard and Riker's bullshit. That was quite nice. Like they come on the ship and kind of go like, "Well, we're just doing a test flight, so let's go over here." And he's just like, "Fuck no, this isn't procedure." I love you guys, but no fucking no.
He explicitly hates them.
Yeah,
you love them. He hates them.
Exactly. His Wolf 359 speech was really good. Like when he was in the bar and just freaking out was amazing. I really loved that.
I loved his bit. I'm nerding over Geordi. That's cute.
Yeah,
that's genuinely really cute. Like that's really fun. And
the points where he did like work, like when he was trying to get the nacelle coverings off and doing that part and working with like the crew to sort of prove a point, like shows that.
I feel like I could have had more. Shaw. I could have had more.
I would have had.
I feel like it was a bit of a shame to kill him off. Honestly.
They have said that if Legacy happens, they'll find a way of bringing him back. But yeah, it's
what? Are they really?
Yeah, the death scene was crap, but also. His post-mortem evaluation of Seven has no link to the rest of the series. The entire rest of the series, he's basically shitting on her and ribbing her and almost dismissing her and showing no inclination. I think the implication
is that he had all that faith in her and then she blew it out the airlock.
Yeah,
the instant they turned up.
It does... Because she seems like she's
sick of him for
other things. Like, it didn't seem like the Shaw that we knew. I liked the Shaw being this practical captain that would be like, no, I'm not going to recommend her to be a captain. She's a fucking loose cannon. Jesus Christ, no. That didn't feel like a very Shaw thing to do. And although he may have this quite soft side inside him under all that kind of layers of pragmatism, I don't think that's how it would have been expressed. I don't know. I liked Shaw up until that last message. I was a bit like, oh.
Yeah, it was a bit. We need to pull the like the redemption, or has it already happened when he says you have command now, Seven? Like I feel like that was the nice thing, and I think the message was a bit too saccharine.
Yeah.
Like Auto likes to throw that word out about like a lot of like modern Trek, and I feel like this was the one time where I'm like, no, that was a bit too saccharine. Like a lot of Picard season 3, I think is a bit.
Did you
that.
know? Did you know the scene with her and Tuvok, which was nice? I like that. Was supposed to be.
I love having Tuvok back. Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be her and Janeway, but they didn't get the time or the money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I could totally believe that.
Which would have been so good. I would have watched a 10-minute scene of those two talking. Like, not gonna lie. Like, you know the deleted scene from Nemesis of Picard and Data talking over wine that was supposed to be in the movie and should have been in the movie?
Yeah.
Like, I would have taken that of Janeway and Seven talking about, like, her progression in Starfleet and what it means to survive the second Borg crisis. Like,
you know what it is? It's one of these problems, and I feel like... So, I think I'm starting to understand why they've come up with this plot device multiple times of having the Starfleet destroy itself. Is because not only is Starfleet so powerful in this era, it is so overstaffed with heroes.
Yeah.
Captain Tuvok, Captain Paris, Captain Riker, every single character who probably by this point.
True.
Like these are all the heroes of all the shows who survived their respective things are now around, and it's like you either can't show them or they have to be like shuffled off and given a reason why you can't get into contact. Like maybe that's why they had to go with the whole changeling angle, because otherwise it's like, well, why don't we just go to Janeway? Oh, we can't trust. Kim is a commander. He will never make captain.
Apparently, and again, this is another Twitter poll. He made captain apparently, and it's another.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's another. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's stop.
I thought that Michael Chabon was the only one who threw out a lot of this is what actually happened.
No, apparently not. No, it's we're shitting on it a lot, and some of it deservedly so. I did enjoy it. I'm glad we got a huge season of nostalgia baiting to get out of the way. So, we can now get on to other things. Like, Strangely Well Season 2 feels like a nice little breath of, hey, we're pushing new things, although we have been doing some past stuff, but that's only to be expected.
Yeah, but you know what the difference is that, like, it's really interesting. I've watched Picard Season 3, I basically the last half of it in one go, this like last week, and I watched Season 2, Episode 3 of Strange New Worlds, and while they both tread on old ground, Strange New Worlds does it for the express purpose of advancing a character's story arc.
Yeah.
Whereas Picard feels like it was doing it because it wanted the audience to be happy. And while I understand that, it's like one of these is a worthy thing to do with a thing. The other one is Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah, I can't, like, we love Lower Decks. Lower Decks is 100% nostalgia baiting. Like, there's a lot of stuff and they go, look, it's one of those things, or it's one of those things.
But it also does a lot of good character work.
Yeah. And I think the problem is here is the Next Generation cast, we don't need character work, because we know the characters really well. So a lot of it is just going to be
you know what?
Moving our action figure from place to place, doing their things and bashing them together.
So I think you should evaluate all the TNG characters and where they end up in the end of the season by like the three things. I think that Worf is there to be cool and fun, which is fine. That's fine. He had his development in DS9.
Yeah.
Geordi is relatively static, and but I like that his development with Sydney. I like that. Data's thing was a pure fan service pull, but it was cool to see Brent Spiner get to be Lore again. He was very recognizably Lore. I'm a little sad we didn't get Are you prepared for the kind of death you've earned, little man? I'm sad we didn't get that. Deanna got to do some cool stuff. I think I liked her role in Nepenthe in season 1 more than I liked what she got to do in season 3. Beverly got to do some cool stuff. I what Beverly got to do. I think
Joy was okay. Yeah, I think she was nice.
She was fine.
Her chat with Jack, and I did like the fact she just ran away from an image of the Borg and just went, like you bitch, you faced them down in space. Like, come on.
Is that how you deal with your counselling? Is that how you do it with all of them?
We're in this together, except for fuck this. Bye.
Yeah. So I had to say, while I will give Picard season 3 like a good amount of stick, and I don't think that it's necessarily very good. I think it's probably good to okay. I think that's kind of where I would put it down. What I will say, and for all my disparagement of Patrick Stewart is too old. Whenever Patrick Stewart and Gates McFadden were talking to each other, the chemistry was still there, and I really liked the development of their relationship, and it felt natural. And they bounced off each other really well. And I really, really, really enjoy that conversation between Picard and Beverly when he is fucking furious with her because she didn't even tell him. She just ran. And I'm like, Bev, these are decent reasons you're coming up with, but fuck you. Like, I'm usually like, Bev's great, but you do not get to pull this shit 20 years after the fact and then pull him in. Like, you have to admit you fucking fucked up here, and it's wrong what you did to him. And I liked that. I liked that they were allowed to be messy, because that relationship was always messy. And that's part of why I thought that Riker and Troy, while it was good to see them, they didn't get a lot going on because their relationship arc didn't feel as natural like it had come to, like, because we had seen them in season 1, it didn't feel like that was a natural way for it to go. And I really liked the development of Picard having to admit, yes, this is a family that I knew I needed, but I want to be here now. And I always appreciate that. You know, I wasn't there for you previously, but let me be here for you now. Because I will put my whole heart into it. I appreciate that development, and I appreciate him reaching out to Jack and speaking the truth, which is that Picard in TNG is emotionally closed off and feels like he can't get close to people, and it massively negatively affected his relationships with everyone who he could have possibly been close to, and he has to make peace with that. And I'm glad. And you know, while I've given it a lot of stick for nostalgia baiting, ending on the poker game and seeing him so much more relaxed and happy, good. That's a good place to leave that character. Yeah. That is a genuinely good place to leave him. So it has its ups and downs, is what I'll say for Picard Season 3. Like, there some of the things I really didn't like, but some of the things it knocks out of the park.
Dean Dixon says, Species 8472 should have been promoted into the timelines of the seasons and to the Federation in synchronized Borg enemy neutral alliance as possible. See, 8472 was a fan sort of theory. That and the Par-Wraiths as well. Could have seen that.
Could have seen that.
Yeah,
I could have seen that.
Okay, so how many of Worf's effortlessly over-sugared chamomile teas would you have placed this season out of 10?
I would probably give it 7 of Worf's comically oversized swords with a phaser in the Ren handle.
Why didn't you use that? Swords are fun. Right, I'm going to very, very, very quickly go to the toilet, blow my nose and all sorts of other things.
No worries.
Stars, tell people your opinion of what you think is going to happen with Strange New Worlds going forward. Because you had a very good clip about James T. Kirk, but tell people about that.
Yeah, no, you like that. You like that clip. Yeah, so I was talking about Strange New Worlds, and I was talking about how, for those of you who have been keeping up, Kirk has turned up again. Oh god, that's a weird effect going on Idle's camera. And he is again full fat Kirk yet. We still have semi-skimmed Kirk. And we have not yet seen the first meeting of, you know, Kirk and Spock, or as I like to call them, Cock. And how they are not going to be the men that we know, and they are intentionally not meant to. They are meant to feel a bit off and a bit incomplete because they are not yet the men we know. That's what I think. Because you do not talk about Kirk, you do not talk about Spock. You talk about Kirk and Spock. They are a duo. They are a unit. They are married. Very married. Thank you, Cranky. Thank you. That's very appropriate. Yeah, they're married. They're super married. God. Man, I shouldn't say these things online. I shouldn't say these things. This is what happens when Idle goes off on his own. I start going into my fan fiction Homer. I will make Star Trek even gayer than it already is if I can.
What did I come back to? Are you talking about Paul Wesley again?
Yes.
Oh dear. So yeah, no, you had a great view on Paul. I even clipped out and put it on a short. Hey, about Paul Wesley's future with Strange New Worlds and what that means with Spock.
Look, all I'm saying is, I think that when Paul Wesley and Ethan Peck meet as Prime Kirk and Prime Spock, you are going to see a moment, and you're going to go, these are two men who are going to be in the Enterprise sickbay during the motion picture, and Spock is going to grab Kirk's hand and say, this simple feeling is what Vija cannot It's so gay. It's so gay. Like, and they're not complete yet. It's like when you look at pictures of your parents when they're young, they're like, you're not complete yet. You're not finished. You're not finished developing yet. It's not a bromance. It's straight up a romance. I'm sorry. Like, let me illuminate something. Let me find a quote. Idle, you keep on talking. I need to find.
This is me talking. For those,
is it you talking?
This is me talking. For those that want to see, go watch our reviews, our Star Trek Treks on the YouTube page. We put them direct out. I've been thinking about streaming them. Maybe next time we might stream one. But yeah, go watch those at the reviews, and you get a very eloquent description of Paul Wesley's interaction, the future of Paul Wesley as Kirk in Strange New Worlds. Have you found it, Stars?
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that. I was grabbing a quote. I wasn't listening.
No, I was just saying, have you found it? Have you got the quote?
I had the quote. Okay, so this is from I believe a Mr. Henry Jenkins. I believe yes, this is from 2008. So this predates 2009, like the Star Trek show, the Star Trek movie. So when I try to explain slash, which is like slash fiction or slash pairing, like the pairing of characters who are not in an on-screen relationship in a gay way, queering relationships that were not explicitly queer in the text. So, and this is from Henry Jenkins in 2008. When I try to explain slash to non-fans, I often reference that moment in Star Trek: The Wrath of Khan, where Spock is dying and Kirk stands there, a wall of glass separating the two longtime buddies. Both of them are reaching out towards each other, their hands pressed hard against the glass, trying to establish physical contact.
Sorry, no, you just say that with the appropriate expression. You have to say, pressed hard against the glass.
I'm not Shatner. I'm not doing it. They both have so much they want to say and so little time to say it. Spock calls Kirk his friend, the fullest expression of their feelings anywhere in the series. Almost everyone who watches the scene feels the passion the two men share, the hunger for something more than what they are allowed. And, I tell listeners, slash is what happens when you take away the glass.
You've ever been to a website called AO3.com?
Yes. I have an account.
Okay, that's fine. I dallied on there the other day just to see, because I've never been and I've heard some great things, and I went on there and there was a Shaw and Seven story, and there was a lot of the word fuck was used a lot. It's just because they were like, oh, you could swear in modern Star Trek. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yeah, totally. But here's the thing. I don't genuinely believe that Kirk and Spock were fucking on the regs. I don't believe that. But I feel like you have to you can't, these are not things that straight people do. Like, Idle. Like,
sorry, that was so gay you broke up. You actually just went that was so queer. Go on, try that again.
That was so queer, wasn't it? Yeah. Like, do you often find yourself with your other male friends saying, I have been and always shall be your friend?
Unfortunately, a lot of my other male friends are not Star Trek fans, so they wouldn't go down well, sadly.
But similar exhortations of friendship.
Of course. Yeah. I have definitely called my friends my brothers, my comrades in arms, and that kind of things, in manly hugs. And I believe one of my friends has actually kissed me on the lips in a not gay way, which is very, very hard to explain, but there it was.
In a not gay way, huh?
His wife is very nice.
like David says.
You're literally the only person that can get away with that.
Yeah, I am. Sorry. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't genuinely believe they're fucking on the regs, but you have to understand that it's really easy to see why that subtext exists. It's the same thing between Geordi and Data. Like, I can totally see that. I don't believe it's the intentional thing, but
Geordi, have you ever experienced homosexuality? Data, I just gave you a razor. No need to overdo it.
Look, so what you're just saying to me is that when Geordie saw Data with the beard, he was like, "Oh man, we can turn him into a bear."
Yeah, there you are. I mean, there is. I mean, how much Riker appreciation is there out there in the gay community? Come on, there is a lot.
Plenty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For good
So
reasons.
it's the lean, the fact that he'll fuck anything. You know, people are into it.
I think what was the episode? I think it was with Soren, wasn't it? And there was a big sort of
The
a big
Outcast.
transgender sort of a big, well, Star Trek being ahead of its time in what it was. And I think it was even Jonathan Frakes was saying like, yeah, I would advocate that for being a male actor, but yeah, networks would never have had it.
No, well, not even the networks. Rick Berman would never have had it.
No, yes, his ideal relationships has to be anyone in a D cup, but there you are.
God, that's very well put. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think when Strange New Worlds gets around to showing Kirk and Spock, you will start to see them become much more like the people you expect to see in TOS. I think there's way too much reverence for TOS for them not to end up going down that route.
Absolutely, but I think we're going to have one more iteration of Kirk this season, I believe, as far as we know. And then no more. I don't know about season 3. Season 3 is still filming, and I don't think there's been any leaks. But well, actually, it's stopped filming because of the writer's strike at the moment. And God, hope they don't.
I can't wait for it to get cancelled.
Man,
Can you imagine?
Do you know what's not getting cancelled though? Do you know what's coming out on August the 1st? A Stitch in Time.
Is it you?
It's not me. The fact that you said that like the lottery man as well, it could be you.
It could be you.
No, I don't want to traumatise my kids this early in their lives. No, A Stitch in Time, the book written by Andrew Robinson about the life of... So, yeah, speaking of queer-coded characters, of the life of Garak, which is a very good book if you've not read it. Thank you, Dean Dixon, for becoming a member. Thank you very much. Our first YouTube member. Do appreciate you. For everyone that becomes members or subscribes, all this money goes to charity. We put all the profits through to that. That's why we're on the race for 1,000 subscribers, so we can start getting advertising revenue in and start pushing it out to charities for our charity show. Anyway, yes, no, A Stitch in Time audiobook is coming out on Audio the First, narrated by Andrew Robinson himself, his own book narrated.
That's a good video.
Very, he's... it's a very good book. It is non-canon, but it does go over Garak's early life, how he got to go into...
It's canon to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like it's text. It's part of the text.
It's not going to get disproved. They're not going to do an early Garak series, are they? So, I don't know. It's really good. It's also partly set on DS9 past season 7 when he's on Cardassia as well, and sort of like the upheaval of when the Dominion, the aftermath of the Dominion War as well on there as well. So that's coming out August 1st. I'm very excited because Andrew Robinson's Garak is really good. Do I have to pay? Yes,
he gets
memberships
the
is like a
character.
full
He
subscription.
understands.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, it's one of these things where it's like there are characters that are dictated by the script, right? There are ones that are in the text and they are defined purely by that. And then there are characters that are the actor, and it's like, this is the difference between, say, Han Solo or a Julian Bashir from a Indiana Jones and or a Bashir or a Garak. It's like Han Solo, for example, is not a very well sketched out character, but he is basically Harrison Ford, whereas Indiana Jones is a written character. Julian Bashir is a written character as on script, but Garak is Andrew Robinson. There is no separating the character from the actor. They are too intertwined.
If you watched it, he was on the Shuttlepod show a few weeks ago, talking about being Garak and things like that, and also his work as Dirty Harry. I watched some clips of him as Dirty Harry, and he's just so young there. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, he's the Scorpio killer or whatever it is. Yeah. He's really terrifying in that.
And he talks about how he got cast for that role because he was pretty much an unknown from nowhere and just got thrust into this role, and then going forward into Star Trek and being put into this sort of, into being Garak, to the point where they said, yeah, we want you back a lot because this character's great. And it really is, because we have not seen, at that point, we've not seen much of Cardassians. We've seen a bit of Dukat, we've seen some bits in TNG, kind of getting an overall feel for how this culture is, this kind of almost authoritarian state, but not as aggressive as the Klingons. And then here you have Garak, who completely subverts that entire culture with his effervescent ways. It's really weird.
So what I think is really cool about Garak is that so when you're constructing a sci-fi series and you're constructing a sci-fi race, right? You have to eventually ask yourself the question: does this feel like a race that could exist and survive? Right?
Or like a trope.
And to a degree, like the Klingons, for example, you're like, how the fuck do you make it to the stars? How do you survive? How do you possibly? And then you meet Worf, and then you meet Martok, and you go, oh, it's people like you. You are normal. You are the normal people, the heroes, the good people that make sure that the Durasses, the Gaurons, all of these characters, all these badly sketched out, like paper thin characters, the Klingon of the week who exist to, you are, these people don't feel like they can make up society, but then you meet characters who feel like they can justify this society's existence, and Garrick is that, because Garrick is someone who manages to, he can go along with the cognitive dissonance of Cardassia being this wonderful romantic state, but also incredibly fascist. He can justify that in his brain and still love Cardassia, even though he knows it's sick. Yeah. And that's what makes him so compelling. Is he's one of the few Cardassians where you look at him and you go, "You are the kind of person that makes Cardassia work, and Cardassians work because of you."
Yeah.
If every Cardassian was like Dukat, they would never get anywhere. But if you have people like Garrick, if you have people like Worf, suddenly these species make sense, and that's why they're so important.
The exception that proves the rule.
Like, to a degree, Xiao and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. No, Garrick's great. I'm looking forward to that audiobook. It's definitely good. But I need to go to shill mode here. I was encouraged by this the other day because I'm absolutely useless at promoting this channel, and I think it was Booter that came up with the idea. It's like, why don't you stop halfway through and promote some of the stuff you've got coming up? So I need to explain as well. We are kind of cross streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Now, Twitch people, you've always known you can subscribe and you get access to a sub channel. So you can now do the same if you're a YouTube viewer. You can join the members club, or I'm thinking of the word Trek Timers. Does that sound good? You're a Trek old timer Trek timer, That's a bit of that. No, okay. But you will, if you subscribe to either, you get the same. You can join the sub channel on our Discord. Yes, hello.
I'm picturing the opening to Teletubbies, like time for Trekkie time.
Time for
Trekkie time. I'm seeing it. I'm feeling it.
But anyway, if you
that's your next editing work while you're at work.
There it is. That's if you are a member of both, you still get the same, and you sync to our Discord, which you can do in your connection settings. You get access to a sub channel, and if you're a Timelines player, you might get a few little leaky leaks, a little sort of like a few crew art that you may not have seen before, or some statistics and deals and things like that for those people that play Star Trek Timelines. Things that are coming up as well. We have next week me, you and Stars, the three of us. Me and Stars will be playing Star
the
Trek
audience,
Resurgence.
the viewer, you.
Exactly,
will join
you.
us.
We mean you. You guys are playing with us, playing Star Trek Resurgence. We're going to carry on with that. And the week after as well, because we're itching. I think we'll finish it by 4.
I think we're getting close.
Yeah, if we don't, we'll do it afterwards. So we're doing those 2 episodes, and then the week after that, Stars. I'm so sorry, but I'm bringing Timelines Talks back. We're coming back.
I won't be here.
It's Timelines Talks number 91 on July the 26th. We'll be talking about all the latest Star Trek time because. For some reason, I'm playing it and enjoying it again, so let's talk about it again.
I'm glad you're having fun.
I've got over the point where I think I'm not going to feel sad about talking about Command Dipset Crew anymore. I feel like I'm going to embrace, and I feel like I can moan again. Because
who's the number 1 Voyager right about now?
Sorry?
Who's the number 1 Voyager at the moment?
That's a good question. I actually haven't got a clue. Oh no, Mira Tuvok. Mira Tuvok is the number 1 Voyager. He's a Voyager. There you go. That face. Don't give me that face. And then the week after that, it's back with live from it's Commander Shaka will be back live from Starbase 47. Should be interesting. We do some different things from last week. That was fun. I enjoyed doing that and talking to everyone in chat. That was a good laugh, definitely. So yeah, come watch all those things. What else is coming up this week? Star Trek Infinite. Can we talk about Star Trek Infinite a little bit?
That's the 4X type thing we're thinking.
Correct.
Right?
So if anyone here has played Stellaris, which is a great. It's not quite 4X because it's real time.
Right.
It's sort of more like it's like Birth of the Federation, but
Age
with
of Empires.
Not as fast as that. It is slower. Like you've got
Okay.
time. You can pause the game as well and make decisions and things like that. It's a vast empire management simulation, and it's great.
Okay.
It's really good, really in depth. It's not something for like Birth of Federation. You can kind of stumble your way through if you don't know the mechanics or ignore your planets. Stellaris is a bit more in depth. You need to manage each of your individual planets individual planets one by one. So there was a mod, or there still is a mod for it called New Horizons, which is basically turned Stellaris into a massive Star Trek simulator where you can be any empire in Star Trek. You name a minor species like the Talarians or
the Zenkethi.
You can be the Zenkethi. You could be anyone. But if you play one of the major ones, you get all the scripted events. Like we played it on stream a few weeks back, and I was playing Federation. We were dealing with the Zindi crisis and things like that. It went that into depth.
Cool.
So it's a mod. It's a really good mod. Well, they're making it into a game. They've actually turned around and gone, and I think some of the New Horizons developers are a bit pissed off because basically they've stolen their idea. But
guess what? You can't get pissed off when it's someone else's IP, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, kind of. And they're putting it out. I have a trailer. Let's see if this is gonna work. No, is that gonna work? Let's see. Oh,
can you stream it through for us as well? Because I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. I will do what I can. Hang on. I need to break.
And also, Naomi, you're absolutely correct. Resurgence is incredible. I can't wait to get back into it. I can't wait to finish our Let's Play of it so I can go back and do all the other different choices.
Let's do this instead. I'll do it this way. Let me share my screen here, and then I can share it to chat. Let's go here. Ding, ding. Ah, there it is. Oh. Right. Let me see how this looks on stream. That's tiny.
Yeah, I've not seen this.
You've not seen this, okay? I mean, it's not going to be anything amazing because it's only showing brief gameplay. Let's do that, and then I can tweak it later. Right, here we go. It's coming through.
Got the D.
Got the D.
Gotta have the D.
Epic music.
Yeah, that should be the subtitle, really.
We are establishing communications with another sentient species
in accordance with the Prime Directive.
Oh, there's that tech tree.
And exactly the same interface from Stellaris.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I could really go for this. I haven't played a game like this in years.
Enemy positions revealed.
Play the Dominion War. Do it.
Yes. Look at that cavalcade of characters. Right, so this basically... Hang on, let me just see if I can undo my way through this.
Yeah, I believe this is the same company as Stellaris Cairo.
It is, yes. There we go, let's do that. There we go. What's happened here? So... Yeah, so this essentially is Stellaris Trek, for what it looks like. But it looks like it's completely focused in the... Can you build torpedo turrets? Yes. All the torpedo turrets. Thank you. Someone's watched our Armada streams. Yeah, it looks like it's completely focused on that TNG era. For the art, you've got Descartes, you've got Garon, and Tereth, I think her name is.
I believe it's Tereth.
It's published by Paradox. I think you name. You just said that. And there's definitely Stellaris code, but it's been produced by Nimblebit, who are a different publisher. So I'm putting some feelers out to Nimblebit.
Different dev company, he says.
Yeah, see what they're going to do with it. It'd be interesting to see what the choices are you make, whether there are, and when it's going to start. Because with New Horizons, you start right at the start of the NX-01 era, and you work your way all the way through to 20. Well, I don't know if they've done 32nd century stuff yet, but this looks like it is Birth. They're trying to say like, hey, you like Birth of the Federation? Here it is, TNG era, Birth of the Federation.
I mean, there's enough going on in the TNG era that you could potentially play a game that is just that if you went deep enough into detail.
Yeah.
Like, there's enough wars going on, like, you know, like, especially if you go all the way back and you do, like, the Cardassian Wars, or you do, like, the Khitomer and stuff like that. I can see that being a easy justification. Like, say, like, 2293 to 2401, I can see that being an easy time period.
Yeah, because they got to put a Sovereign in there, definitely. You can't have this game without a Sovereign class.
Well, I saw the Intrepid in there, so there's absolutely going to be a... you know.
And it looks quite warlike. Like, you can see a lot of combat. Generally, Stellaris, a lot of it is not combat. A lot of it is managing your empire, and it depends. Like, the beauty of Stellaris is, like, you can play it completely non-violent. Like, you can be
which is
passive,
appropriate for a Star Trek game.
Exactly, be passive rights. And if you go back to Birth of the Federation, like, for people that played that, you can do exactly the same things. And I kind of hoping that if you're playing the Cardassians, I'm hoping you kind of have that same kind of, like, spy network and infiltrate people. That was, you know, I'm intrigued.
So here's the question: how are you going to justify? How are you going to change between? Because obviously, Federation's like big thing is going to be science and diplomacy.
Yeah.
Right. The Klingons are going to be pure military might, I imagine. How do you differentiate the Romulans and the Cardassians?
Well, Birth of the Federation kind of did it where... I'm trying to think how they did it. They were both mostly subterfuge, but then the Cardassians' focus were like subterfuge and military, where the Romulans were less on the military side of things. I've not played it in like about 15 years, but yeah.
There's always a ton of overlap between those two cultures in terms of how you differentiate them.
Yeah, I don't know. It does feel like the Romulans are definitely more covert, where the Cardassians are more overt. They're more sort of proud of how they're, you know, we have the best intelligent network out there. We're very sort of aggressive. The Romulans are just like, yeah, we're aggressive, but don't you fucking step over that neutral zone. We'll fucking glass you.
Maybe it'll be more like a hybrid. So you get like the Federation that's science and diplomacy. Then you have Romulans who are science and war, and then you have the Klingons who are military and but then you have military and diplomacy because they can be quite good diplomats, and then you've got the Cardassians who are just full on war and subterfuge. I can see that being kind of a mix.
As we always say, we're just very glad that they're making Star Trek games like Resurgence and this. Timelines are still a thing. Fleet Command is still a thing.
Prodigy Supernova was a thing. Absolutely.
Exactly. Go buy Prodigy Supernova. It's on sale on there is a Steam sale if you're a PC player. Go buy it on the Steam store at the moment. You can get it for quite cheap. It's all right. But it's a Star Trek. Show your support for Star Trek. Marvel Snap is still a thing. Yes. Yes, Buta. I will do a Marvel Snap stream soon.
Yes, it is.
When I can talk by my own without.
Yeah, because you have to do it solo. I ain't helping you this time.
Oh, I'm actually really glad you turned up because I was like about halfway through his various coughs. I was just like, I don't know how much longer I can do this.
I had to save you.
You did. You saved me, Stars, as you always did. We're gonna be watching the next Strange New Worlds episode very soon, and we'll have the review out next
That's tomorrow.
week.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to that.
That is tomorrow. I'm very excited about that. And I'm thinking, Stars, for our next Trek or the review for it, I may stream it. I may stream it out to one of these many channels as we're reviewing and watching along.
I can see that. That could be fun.
Can we do it? So people may join us. I think I might. Well, I think we're doing it I generally try and do them Sundays. Is when I try and do them. I haven't checked the calendar yet to see if we're all there yet. But we'll see what happens. So in overall, so Strange New World season 2 in overall. Sorry, words are failing me right now. Overall, Strange New World season 2 is ongoing. Prodigy's gone. What the fuck? Garrick's releasing a book.
Because season 3 is finished.
Yeah. Sub-triggers don't work on YouTube, Cranky. They only work on Twitch. This will be a podcast at some point. Podcast is still being updated. I managed to get logged in. I was able to update all the podcasts at last. I was able to log in and do that.
Incredible. You're a media magnate yet.
I am. I'm trying. And we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please like and subscribe. And I mean that earnestly. I'm not trying to do that.
Comment, and subscribe.
Trying to do that because at 1,000 we can finally get the ad revenue I can finally put forward to the charity. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do on our YouTube channel and join us. And I'll try and do this. At the moment I'm using a free plan of this what's called Live Push, which only gives you a certain amount of time you can do this for. But which I may push through more. I may get a subscription for it, and we'll do some more YouTube pushing. We'll be everywhere. I can even post the Facebook group that we have that I completely ignore.
We have a Facebook
We
group?
have a Facebook group, yeah. I set it up, and then I just forgot about it. But we're on Twitter. We're on Blue... Hey! We're on Blue Sky! We're on Blue Sky. That service you can only get to if you have an invite. So
yeah, I thought that. I tried applying, and I'm still waiting on that.
Yeah, if I get an invite code, I'll hit you up. But yeah, there's a health... Go on.
And in addition to all the other things we've got going on, I may be trying to get my Star Trek Adventures campaign featuring many of our favourite role players and even maybe a few new voices every now and then. Maybe.
I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to get my Delton first officer out there. I'm looking forward to that. I made that character so long ago, I've forgotten what the point was, but I need to go read.
Yeah, it's fine. You'll remember.
Yeah.
You'll get into it.
Something about my oath of celibacy is on record, Captain, but there we go.
Always.
All right.
Yeah.
On that note, I need to go and die in a corner somewhere.
Don't die, please. That would miss you quite
Not
terribly.
literally. We'll see you all soon. Again, keep an eye out. Monday, we should have our Strange New Worlds review, so look out for that. We'll see you soon. Live long and prosper, and ta-ra. And thank you all for coming. Love you all.
It's all set.
What's all set?
I got Hooker lined up with a dude who's gonna give him the deal of a lifetime in a new Porsche.
A Porsche?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe you should wait. You might get a better deal through the state.
Yeah?
Yeah, we just did some story on a guy who's selling stolen Porsches off a lot on Main. Real sleazy character.
What's his name?
Delvin, Kelvin,
Melvin?
Melvin?